We'll take you to Interstate 79 South, about 70 miles, and we'll get off at Morgantown, West Virginia. What we'll see is the steadily improving Pittsburgh Panthers, led by Johnny Majors, a club that can sneak up and really put the claw on you. Curtis Martin, he brings a colorful presence to the Pitt offense. Last week, he put up a career-high 206 yards on Syracuse in a close but bitter loss that wasn't decided until the final 2 minutes. You'll also see the West Virginia Mountaineers. Don Nehlen's team is 5-0, one of 8 unbeaten teams in the country. They're off to their best start in 5 years, and they're ranked 18th in the country. They have an outstanding running back, too, in Robert Walker, who wrecked Louisville for 3 touchdowns a couple of weeks ago. Through the air, there's Jake the Snake Keltner, the #2 passer in the country, quickly establishing himself as a big name in the Mountaineer State. Just take your shoes off, set a spell, and enjoy the 86th renewal of the Backyard Brawl live from Mountaineer Field. It's Pitt against West Virginia, the Big East Football Conference Game of the Week. It's the Big East Football Conference Game of the Week. Today's matchup features the Panthers of the University of Pittsburgh taking on the 18th-ranked Mountaineers of West Virginia. It is a splendid day for football, for one of the great rivalries in college football. Hi, I'm Dave Sims, along with Todd Blackledge. Good to have you for our game today from Morgantown, in a rivalry that has been a little peculiar since the visiting team has won 5 of the last 6 games, and West Virginia's last win here at home was 10 years ago.
Well, it is an interesting rivalry, a game that you can pretty much throw the numbers out the window, and it's an intense rivalry for recruiting purposes, too, because both of these teams consider the talent-rich Western Pennsylvania area as the home base for their recruitment of talent.
Absolutely. We'll start with the Pitt Panthers, and their story, as per usual this season, has been Curtis Martin, who's been absolutely magnificent.
Well, Curtis Martin carried the ball 37 times last week, involved in 61% of the offensive plays. The question about Martin today is, how healthy is he? Last week in the game against Syracuse, you're going to see right here, this second quarter play, his left leg got twisted up behind his body, kind of hurt the knee a little bit. He came back and finished the ball game, but they took an MRI test of him this week. He's probably at about 85%, our sources say, although 85% of Curtis Martin is still pretty good.
He's a wanted man here in Morgantown. His picture is all over the West Virginia facility to our left. Now we talk about the defensive unit for Pittsburgh. They have a major responsibility today going against an explosive West Virginia offense.
Well, the defense for Pitt, the good news is they're healthy. For the last couple of weeks, they've built some continuity. They have the same guys playing the same positions. Last week, they did a pretty good job defending a very explosive offense in Syracuse. They've got to be fundamentally sound again today against the Mountaineers.
Mountaineers offensively have Mike Baker and a host of receivers, guys that can get deep on you in a hurry.
Well, they've got some big play guys. Mike Baker is the leading receiver with those 15 catches. He's a guy that broke his foot last year, took a medical red shirt. He's a senior out of Waverly, Georgia, and he's become a real leader for this team, a guy who can make a lot of big plays running with the football and also as a return man.
He's terrific as an emotional leader on this ball club, too. Defensively, a tough unit, #1 against the run in the Big East, #9 in the country. Going to be a tough unit. Richardson and Wiley, 2 guys to watch.
The strength of this defense is their ability to run to the football. What does that mean for their opponents? It means it's very difficult to get outside and turn the corner against this West Virginia defense.
Mountaineer Ball Club has everybody with electricity crackling here at Morgantown, and we're set for the kickoff. Pitt and West Virginia coming up from Morgantown, West Virginia. We'll get to that right after we pause for these words from our local stations. Midfield. And this is what it looked like this morning at 8 a.m. when our crew was here on time. Take a look at things, and the sun has burned things off nicely. It's a gorgeous day. Conditions perfect. 49 degrees, light humidity, a wind out of the southwest. It's crisp, clear, and Pitt has won the toss. And our keys to the game are Rolling Rock Chalk Talk. Todd Blackledge.
Well, the first thing, Pitt needs to convert a couple big pass plays. I expect West Virginia to come after them on early downs with some run blitzes to try to force the ball up in the air. Defensively, they can't give up the easy touchdown. Last week against Syracuse, the Orangemen converted 212 yards and 2 touchdowns on just 4 passing plays. They've got to eliminate the home run and then kick coverage. I'll tell you what, Mike Baker and Mike Logan of the Mountaineers were very close the last couple weeks to taking one all the way. Pitt has to be disciplined running down on kicks. For West Virginia, they've got to hold on to the football. They've already turned the ball over, fumbled the ball 12 times. Their opponents have only done it 5 times. They've got to do a better job of that today. And secondly, they've got to tackle well. This defense can run, but they're dealing with a back in Curtis Martin today who has the ability to make some people miss and shed tackles, arm tackles. They've got to be really good, firm and solid tacklers today on defense.
John Nealon, winningest coach in West Virginia history, stays in shape by playing racquetball. Pretty good player, too. Johnny Majors, second go-round here with the Pitt Panthers. 58 years old, born in Lynchburg, Tennessee. Last 5 games, you see West Virginia is 3-1-1. They haven't won here at home since 1983. Todd Sauerbrunn, he will put things in action. Junior out of Setauket, New York. Deep to receive DeNorris Mosley for the Pitt Panthers. And the backyard brawl is underway. Side winding kick goes through the end zone. And Pitt will take over at the 20. That makes 25 of the last 34 kicks for Sauerbrunn have been touchbacks or returned from the end zone. Quarterback John Ryan, steady, not spectacular, but he's the kind of guy that can beat you. Offensive line, Lawson Malika coming off a strong performance against Syracuse last week. Junior Green, an outstanding deep threat player for the Pitt Panthers. He'll draw a lot of coverage today from West Virginia. So here come the Panthers. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Curtis Martin, the deep back, the up back, number 22, that's Maurice Washington. Play action, no surprise here. Ryan throwing, and it's knocked away by Todd Collins. Make that Mike Collins, number 25, the strong safety, intended for Junior Green. Defensive starters for the Mountaineers. Scott Gaskins coming along nicely. Had 3 sacks on the season, self-made player. Mike Collins, outstanding captain of the defensive unit, 4-year starter. 2nd down and 10 for the Panthers. Give it to Martin. Draws a crowd, gets a gain of 1 yard. Matt Toffoni, number 3, with some help from Tim Brown, make the stop.
Again, the key to this defense is they can really run to the football. Now they get good penetration. Pitt's going to try to run behind their big left tackle, Reuben Brown. Good penetration by Matt Toffoni, the outside backer. That slows up the play and allows the rest of those linebackers to fill and make the tackle.
Pitt has 2 receivers, bottom of your screen. Big play, 3rd and 9 at the 21. Ryan straight back to pass. Flips it outside to Maurice Washington. Big hit, doesn't get to the 25. Wes Richardson, number 41, with help from Aaron Beasley on the stop, and West Virginia is held. Pitt will punt. And yeah, the crowd here at Mountaineer Field is fired up. They do not like the Pitt Panthers. Nate Cochran in the kick. Having a good year at 43-6. Mike Baker deep to receive. He's averaging 9.4 yards on his returns. Good block. They got the wall to the right side, and a fine play by number 2 for Pitt, Miles Davis. He horned in to make the stop. 43-yard punt, 4-yard return.
And again, our favorite penalty, the illegal block in the back, I think, on this opening return.
If we've seen it once, we've seen it 100 times through 6 weeks. Tom Thamert and his crew officiating today's game.
Illegal block in the back, on the run back, 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
John Nealon's club will put it in play at its own 23-yard line. Jake Kelchner, transfer from West Virginia, from Notre Dame in his second year as the starter. Rich Bram, a dominating left tackle. He heads the offensive line, and Robert Walker is the man in the backfield, replacing John Jones, who was injured in the first game. Kelchner comes out pitching and can't complete it to Jake Kearney, number 18. For the Panthers on defense, John McCray has been coming up big, making some big plays. The sophomore out of Akron, Ohio. And in the secondary, they have a big chore. Jones, Williams, Whaley, and Williams, who's been listed as questionable, coming in. Second down and 10 at the 23 for the Mountaineers. Give it to Walker. Big hole. Across the 30 to the 35. He's got a first down for the Mountaineers. Stop made by David Sumner.
West Virginia, a powerful running football team, running behind their right side. Jim LeBlanc and Chris Click, the guard and tackle. And Walker, you can see him covering up that football, too. I mean, if he's had a problem this year, it's been dropping the football. He's fumbled 5 times on the season. That time you can see he had both hands wrapped around the football in his initial carry of the game.
Gain of 13 on the play from West Virginia. Just underway here from Morgantown. Here's Kelchner, second pass. Completes it out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. He completes it to Vanterpool. Rashawn Vanterpool, number 26.
Part of the reason Kelchner has been so efficient this year, the second-ranked quarterback in the NCAA, is their ability to use the play action on first down. You could see the strong safety Doug Whaley's thinking run. They fake the run. It freezes the strong safety, and Vanderpool makes a nice catch on the sideline. But anytime a quarterback, when you can run the football, it just improves your ability as a quarterback to use the play action and to complete a high percentage of passes.
Second down and 3 at the 43. Here comes the reverse. Mike Baker. 50, cuts inside, 40, first down, West Virginia Pitt territory. David Sumner saves the touchdown. The Mountaineers on the move.
David Sumner saves the tackle. He's also hurt on the play a little bit. Baker, you can see, we talked about his ability to run with the football. Now they do a nice job walling off. You see Rich Bram, 78, peeled back and gets a nice block. Baker is even more effective when he gets the ball in his hands and runs with the football, as opposed to just being a guy who can catch the football. He is most dangerous in the open field.
The H-back, Nate Ryan. Give it to Walker, trying to get outside. Not this time. Great play by Mike Mooring, number 98 for Pitt. Mooring, the freshman out of Westchester, Pennsylvania, outside of Philadelphia. An outside linebacker is pressed into service on the defensive line for the Panthers. The loss of 4 on that play. Jake Kelchner off to a good start this year. Completing 66% of his passes coming into today's game. Ball's at the Pitt 41. Play action. Buys some time, gets a block. Got a man. Complete. Eddie Hill knocked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. First down, West Virginia. Jim Williams knocks him out of bounds. Ed Hill wide open on that gain of 27.
I think the biggest improvement in Jake Kelchner this year is his comfort level. He's so much more comfortable now. He knows there's a blitz coming, so when he comes out of the fake, all he knows is I just got to buy myself a little time, step up underneath this initial block, and I've got man-to-man coverage out there. He makes a nice little toss to Ed Hill. He's much more comfortable in the pocket and running this West Virginia offense than he was a year ago.
Mountaineers have done a great job in the red zone. 76% of the time they've scored. 11 touchdowns, bidding for more. The give back, the cutback through the middle to Woodard. Tumulty brings him down. Gets inside, gets close to the 10-yard line.
What West Virginia is doing in this initial drive also is they're getting everybody involved. You've seen a couple quick passes, play action passes. You've seen the reverse to Mike Baker. They've run the tailback, and now they get the fullback involved. They just want to use a little bit of everything in this first drive to keep the Pitt defense honest. Don't let them key in on any 1 or 2 things that you might be doing.
Mountaineers averaging 35 points a game. That's 3rd best in the Big East, tied for 16th in the country. Here's Kelchner. 5. Touchdown, West Virginia. Kelchner on the keeper.
We talked about using a little bit of everything. Now they run the option. They fake into the fullback. Now the fullback's going to lead out and get a nice block on Hayes Clark. And Kelchner, who has proven that he's an excellent runner with the football, knows where the goal line is, and that's a big score for the quarterback.
Third rushing touchdown for Kelchner this season. Todd Sauerbrunn on for the PAT. Continues to be perfect. 21 for 21 on this season. So the Mountaineers take their first possession and take it in for a touchdown. They open up with a 7-0 lead. We're back after these messages. Last year, they got most of their yardage on the ground. They killed Pitt on the ground, trying to do it again today, Todd.
Well, the thing you're going to see on this play, the fullback right here, you can't really see him. He's behind Walker. Rodney Woodard's going to come out around here on the option. He's going to lead it after making a fake, and he's going to get a great block on Hayes Clark, and that's going to free up Jake Kelchner to take it into the end zone. Watch, he makes a fake. Now here he comes rolling around, and he gets a nice block on Hayes Clark, and that just secures the corner for Kelchner. A nice block out on the outside by the wide receiver Abraham also makes it for the touchdown.
Here's Sauerbrun's kick. End over end. Norris Mosley makes it a yard deep. 10. Trying to get to the corner, won't get there. Gets to the 12-yard line. Maurice Richards with a nice shoestring tackle. West Virginia scoring drive. 77 yards over 8 plays, 2.5 minutes. Kelchner's third running touchdown of the season. Some bad field position for John Ryan and the Pitt Panthers on their second possession. Pitt did a 3-and-out its first time and only got to the 24-yard line. Offset I formation. Wideouts to the top end, bottom of your screen. 7-0 West Virginia. 10:52 left, first period. Curtis Martin gets it. And room to the 20, spins out. 25, 30. How about this? Curtis Martin. He's got one man to beat. Curtis Martin trying to go the distance for Pitt. Knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Aaron Beasley saves the score. And Curtis Martin, a marked man, still gets it done. 86 yards.
Nothing looks wrong with the knee on this play. I'll tell you, we talked about his ability to, number one, make someone miss, and also to break tackles. Take a look at this now. First thing he's going to do, he's going to freeze Mike Collins, the strong safety. He freezes Collins with that little cut. Now he breaks the tackle at Tafoni with a little spin move, and then it's off to the races for Curtis Martin. And again, good blocking downfield by the wideouts. You must be sure with your tackling against a guy like Martin.
First and goal for the Panthers. Ball on the 1-yard line. Wishbone set. Walks right in for the touchdown is Billy West, and Pittsburgh comes right back in 2 plays. That's why they call it the backyard brawl.
A little bit of a different look. That comes from self-scouting. In the game last week, they went inside between the tackles on the goal line. This time they go wide. Another missed tackle and a nice little hesitation fake by Billy West. You're keying on Curtis Martin, thinking he's going to go over the top at this point. Give it to the other back, Billy West, for the touchdown.
9th carry for West on the season, his first TD, and more significantly, that is the first rushing touchdown allowed by West Virginia this year. Dalmanides in for the extra point. Everything works. The kick is good. We got a tie ball game with 10:32 to go first period. How about that? There is a flag on the play. Tom Thamerton Company sorting things out.
Dead ball, personal foul, against the defensive team. Extra point is good. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
All right, Tom, thank you. And Don Nealon said that they have to tackle. They didn't that time. Talking about the West Virginia Mountaineers, Curtis Martin, the man, 7-7 here in Morgantown. Back after these words from our local stations.
Jeff Driscoll grew up right here in Vero Beach. He ate in local restaurants and played on local ball fields. But Jeff was no ordinary kid. He worked hard and was rewarded with a contract to play baseball professionally. What's your advice to local kids, Jeff?
If you work hard enough now, you may get to play later. But you gotta hit the cages.
Safari, putting, golf, and games. After the cages, enjoy 2 beautifully landscaped 18-hole golf courses, big game room with games for all, hundreds of prizes to win. Great for birthday parties west of US 1 on Oslo Road, Vero Beach.
Chowders is celebrating their first anniversary during September and October. Come in and win thousands of dollars in prizes. Each week, win a complete dinner for 4 with 5-pound lobster and filet, champagne or wine, and limo rides to and from Chowders. Every day, free chowder with any sandwich off the lunch menu. Each week, win 4-person gift certificates for lunch or dinner. And the 4 grand prizes are 3-day trips to Atlantic City, New Jersey, including airfare, deluxe hotel, and limo rides. Once you've been to Chowders, there's no place left to go.
At Vero Beach Chrysler Plymouth RV, we have no salespeople, no pressure, no runaround. What we do have is the best selection of Chryslers, Plymouths, and RVs on the Treasure Coast. So remember, no salespeople, no pressure, no runaround. But if it's transportation you're looking for, see us at Vero Beach Chrysler Plymouth RV, US 1 at Oslo Road. See you today.
Curtis Martin, number 29, has stunned everybody in the state of West Virginia. Pittsburgh's come right back to tied at 7.
Mike Collins is a captain on this defense, but you're going to see him get faked out of his shoes. Right there, number 25. All he can do is dive and grab for air, and then a nice spin move by Curtis Martin. And I'll tell you what, the knee looks okay. It looks better than 85% at this point for the tailback out of Outerdice High School. Now, on the touchdown, look at all the Mountaineer defenders in around the middle of the pack, expecting an inside run with Curtis Martin. A nice play call by Kenny Karcher, the offensive coordinator for the Panthers.
And you made a good point talking about the self-scouting. Tell folks about that part of the game.
Well, you want to try to know what your tendencies are, because defensive teams, they're watching your tendencies. They're marking down how many times you run to certain parts of the field. Nice job by doing a little self-analysis, saying, hey, we've been throwing it in the middle. Let's break our own tendencies and go outside.
They go for the onside kick. It's got it at the 40-yard line. Did it go enough? There's no flags. Kenyon Robinson, number 18, came up with the ball. Let's see if the play stands.
You know what happened on this, I think, Dave? The ball initially did go 10 yards, and then I think it bounced back inside of 10 yards. This was a very funny bounce that the ball took. As we take a look at this, the ball has to go 10 yards before a Pitt player can touch it. Now, look,
Ball
it has to go across the 40.
10 yards. We had illegal touching. West Virginia's ball.
No. The ball, I really think this ball did go 10 yards initially and took a funny bounce back, and by the time when Kenyon Robinson touched it, it was only at 9 yards. Watch. Here's the ball. It's got to go past the 40. Now it's going to get past the 40 and then bounce back towards the Pitt team, and when Robinson falls on it, the ball's at the 9-yard mark.
Here's Robert Walker trying to get outside, got a hole, and picks up about 2. Now, don't forget, Pitt was kicking off from midfield because of the personal foul on the point after touchdown. Jim Williams, make that David Sumner, makes the stop. Other action around the Big East. The Akron Zips at the Vet in Philly against the Temple Owls. And Rutgers against Virginia Tech. Remember last year, 50-49 at Rutgers Stadium. Rutgers wins that one. Army BC, and a big one tonight, Syracuse and Miami.
Not a bad decision by Johnny Majors. We saw last week he's not afraid to go for some gusto on some plays, going for it on 4th and 2. Now try the onside kick early.
Kelchner waving on Kearney. Downfield, knocked away by number 17, Maurice Williams, and no flags. Ball hung up in the air and gave Maurice a chance to recover.
Well, you're exactly right, Dave. This ball did hang up in the air a long time, and it looked like Williams could have even made a play to come in front and make the interception. Kelchner rolling to his left. Obviously, Kearney's not a primary receiver, tries to make something else happen. And look, when you're throwing the ball back across the field, it's up there a long time. Maurice Williams found the football. Did not have his left arm on the back of Kearney. It's a good play by Maurice Williams.
7th pass breakup this season for Maurice. It was out of Ambridge High School. Kelchner back to throw under pressure. Tumblety, and they sack him. Big loss for Pittsburgh. Tom Tumblety was there, number 84. Tim Robbins, number 65, too. So the Pitt Panthers get a 3 and out. West Virginia will punt.
Pitt came with a little bit of a blitz, brought a couple extra people from the outside that forced Kelchner out of the pocket, and then good coverage downfield. Kelchner had nowhere to go with the football.
There's Sauerbrunn, who does all the kicking for the Mountaineers, having a great year. To Norse Mosley, deep from Pittsburgh. Ball takes a West Virginia bounce inside the 25, and they'll down it at the 23-yard line, a 39-yard punt. A backyard brawl, as expected. A goodie. It's 7-7 here at Morgantown. We're back after these messages. Quarter, 8:59 to play, and the Panthers, after going down 7-0, come right back. A 26-second drive highlighted by the 86-yard run by Curtis Martin, have tied it at 7. And see what John Ryan can get going at quarterback for the Panthers. Ball's at the 23-yard line. Martin, the deep back, the up back is Maurice Washington. And there's movement again, and Pitt had big problems last week against the Syracuse Orangemen. Jared Miller, right guard, moved.
For you folks at home that
ball, illegal procedure, offense, first time.
For you folks that aren't sure why this happens, when you see players from both teams move, a defensive player can move and reset and get himself back as long as he doesn't make contact. If he makes contact, then it's offsides on the defense. But an offensive man, once he's set, cannot move. Now you're going to see the right guard for Pittsburgh is going to move, as well as a defensive lineman for West Virginia, but he can get back.
Like there was a little contact, too. They butted heads there for a second. 1st and 15 now for the Panthers. Ball at the 18. 7-7 ball game. 8:59 to go, first period. Play action for Ryan. Got time over the middle. Curtis Martin. Can you believe he got out of that? Turns the corner, run out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Tommy Orr, number 24, makes the play. Talked to Don Nealon yesterday and said, hey, the man you got to stop is number 29. What are you going to do to knock him off?
Well, with a back like Curtis Martin, you know, I think the average fan thinks that you really gang up on him. I don't think you do that. I think you tackle better, you pursue better. You know, we have a defensive package, and we can't change our package for Curtis Martin, but we have to play the package better. You know, too many times we'll miss a tackle, and somebody may not pursue as hard as they can. And with this guy, you better pursue every time, and you better gang tackle because he's dynamite.
Gang tackling worked that time. Matt Tafoni makes the stop on Curtis Martin. They needed that one.
That's the key. When you talk about gang tackling, what that means is the first guy who's there, in that case Matt Tafoni, you've got to wrap him up, get a hold of him so that the rest of, you know, slow the guy down and hope that the rest of your teammates can come and finish him off, because Curtis Martin will break the majority of arm tackles. If you don't get a good wrap on him, he's going to make some positive yards on him.
Junior Green and Sadiq Durham to the top of your screen for Pittsburgh. 3rd and 9 at the 25. They blitz. Ryan's in trouble. He goes down. A sack. Matt Tafoni, Wes Richardson are there. That's the 17th sack of the season for the Mountaineers.
I think Pitt was going to try to run a screen, a middle screen, but they didn't block the blitz coming right up the middle, and Ryan has nowhere to go with the football. Tafoni's coming. Richardson's coming. Too many blue shirts for John Ryan.
Nate Cochran standing back at his 2-yard line. It's a good punt. Too much pressure. And he does get a good punt. Baker at the 41. Got wall to the right. Good pursuit by Pittsburgh. Kenyon Robinson's there along with Miles Davis. They bring him down after a 46-yard punt return of 11 yards.
Again, we talked about the importance of the kick coverage team for Pitt, and so far in this ball game, a nice job staying disciplined, staying in their lanes, running down against some very dangerous return men.
Mike Baker hurt on the play. You're West Virginia. What type of offensive series are you looking for here after they were so effective with a myriad of plays in that scoring drive?
You know, and you see that a lot also, you know, the fact that West Virginia is coming off an open week. You have a lot of time to try some new things, to get a good feel for what you want to try to do offensively, and they looked extremely good in that first series, mixing it up, running pass, fullback, tailback, quarterback option. They've been stifled a little bit here lately, but right now, inside the 50-yard line, a nice chance to go play action and maybe try to get the ball deep down the field.
We're in Morgantown, West Virginia. Dave Sims and Todd Blackledge in our Big East Football Conference Game of the Week. Good to have you with us. The Backyard Brawl, 86 renewal, Pitt and West Virginia. 7:23 to go, first period. Good matchup of a couple of coaches. Johnny Majors, 58 years old, a former tailback at Tennessee. Don Nealon, quarterback at Bowling Green during his college days. Ball in Pitt territory at the 49. To the up back. Woodard, number 28, gets the carry. Not too much of a gain there. That is Sillick. Mike Hallepin, they make the tackle for Pittsburgh. Call it a gain of 4. Kelchner started his career at Notre Dame, ran into some difficulties, broke his collarbone. This coming after a fantastic career at Berwick High School, Berwick, PA. Outside the Walker, got a good block, cuts inside, and inside the 40-yard line, DeNorse Mosley, number 11, makes the stop. Looks like it will be very close to a first down.
Whenever you're running the option, particularly when you're going to fake to the opposite side, the first thing the quarterback has to do is get his head around quick, because there's a blitz coming. Kelchner had to get his eyes around quick and pitch that ball quickly to the outside to Walker. Walker does a nice job cutting inside the cornerback Mosley, but whenever you're running an option and you turn your head away from the defense, the first thing you got to get around is those head and eyes.
Pittsburgh up close. They give it to the fullback. He didn't get it. And to get to the 39-yard line, Tom Bart, number 90, with the tackle. Boy, Tom Bart showing some quickness. He's coming off a fine game last week against Syracuse also. Brings up a fourth down situation for the Mountaineers.
Tom Barn is just a blue-collar guy. Number 90, a defensive tackle, gets good penetration at the point of attack, and the back has nowhere to go. When you play a 4-3 defense like that, all you want to get from your lineman is some quick penetration across the line of scrimmage, and that breaks up the timing of the offensive play.
Got a timeout on the field. 5:50 to go, first period. 7-7 ball game. We'll be back after these messages.
This is Tom Barnt right here. Now, West Virginia's going to come off, and they're going to double team him, and then Chris Click, this guy right here, he's going to come off the double team and try to block the linebacker. He'd have been better off staying right on Barnt and driving him off the ball, because the linebacker's already 3 yards off the ball. Watch, he's going to come off, and that allows Barnt to slip the block, get penetration, and stop the back in the backfield for a loss.
What kind of play do you look for here from West Virginia on this 4th and 1, Todd?
I think it's power football again, although this time I would give it to the tailback. Let your fullback lead the play. Give it to the tailback with a blocker in front of him.
Raymond and Walker in the backfield. 2 tight ends for West Virginia. Play action, Kelchner. The flip, the completion of Freeman. Knocked out of bounds. Jim Freeman with the reception. First down, Mountaineers. That's a gain of 14.
I'll tell you what this also means, too. This means Don Nealon has tremendous confidence in Jake Kelchner running his offense. 4th and 1, call the bootleg. Now, you know, when Kelchner gets out here, if the fullback's not wide open, as Freeman is, Nealon believes, hey, Kelchner will take the ball, he'll run it, he'll pick up the first down. That's great confidence he has in his quarterback. Nice little flip to the fullback, Freeman.
Dylan Baker to the top of your screen. Throwing outside to Hill, and not close. Norris Mosley covering for Pittsburgh.
That was a tweener. He had 2 guys open on that play. Both of his receivers were running a little bit of an out route, and the ball landed right in between them, and the receivers kind of looked at each other like, was that to you or was it to me?
Jay Kearney coming back in. Kearney's a real big game breaker. He's got 4 TDs. Those 4 TDs have averaged 63 yards. Kearney and Hill go to the top of the screen. Baker to the bottom. Second down and 10 at the 24. Kelchner the draw. Walker wide open. 15, 10, 5, and down to the 3-yard line. First and goal for West Virginia. The stop from Maurice Williams, who saved the touchdown. Gain of 21.
This was a great call against a blitz defense. They blitzed from the outside. There was no free safety in the middle of the field. So as soon as Walker got through the line of scrimmage, he had a clear path to the goal line. You can see there's no white shirts around him. A cornerback has to come off his man off on the outside in order to make the touchdown-saving tackle.
Walker was stopped as much by his wideout, Mike Baker, as anything. Having a great year. 3 TDs against Louisville 2 weeks ago here at Mountaineer Field. First and goal at the 3. 7-7 ball game. Kelchner with the rollout. Gets the block. Touchdown, West Virginia. Jim Freeman. First receiving touchdown by Jim Freeman.
Both the fullbacks, Freeman and Woodard, both have very soft hands for big guys. Again, nice little play action, a good mixture of run and pass in this drive, keeping the defense honest, and an easy touchdown. That's 2 very easy throws from Kelchner to Freeman.
Sauerbrun's point after is good. He's 2 for 2 on the day and perfect on the season. So West Virginia, wasting no time, comes right back to take a 14-7 lead. Mountaineers showing great versatility in their offensive attack today.
Well, they certainly are. And again, I think a lot of that has to do with the open week. You have time to prepare, see what some things have been good to you, study your own tendencies, and they've gotten everybody involved. The fullback's been involved in a big way so far early in this game. They've had done a nice job.
7-play drive, 49 yards, took just 2:32 off the clock.
Now I want you to take a look at something on the Robert Walker, on the Walker run that set up the touchdown. You can see there's nobody in the middle of the field here. Pitt's coming with a blitz from the outside with their strong safety and the free safety. So as soon as Walker gets through the line of scrimmage, he's got clear sailing to the end zone. Watch, nobody in the middle of the field. The lineman stays on their blocks. You still don't see a Pitt defender. And there's the cornerback. Maurice Williams has to come off his man, the receiver Mike Baker, to make the tackle. A good call at the right time.
Indeed, and good balance on the West Virginia offense. 71 rushing yards, 51 through the air. Here's Sauerbrun's kick. This one's short, mostly at the 10. Waiting for the wedge to form, and may have waited too long. Only got back to the 22-yard line. Van Washington, number 1. Makes a good stick in there on Mosley. There's Van.
Sauerbrun's probably going to go into the weight room at halftime and get back on the leg press machine, because normally he kicks them all out of the end zone.
Scoring drive. Did not have to go too far after a Pitt punt. Ball's at the 22-yard line. Martin the deep back, Washington the up back. Trying to get outside with Martin. He does. Jumps over the pile, picks up about 6 on the play. Hit hard by Tim Brown, number 56. Knocks him out of bounds. West Virginia's defense has indeed been a hard-hitting, dominating unit.
Well, they've been excellent against the run. They've given up some yards passing this season. They've given up, coming into this game, 286 yards a game passing. But in the passing game, they've been kind of a bend but don't break. When teams have really had to try to make the tough yards running the ball, that's when they've been particularly tough. 2.8 yards a rush. That's outstanding.
Backyard brawl here in Morgantown, West Virginia. Mountaineer fans whooping it up. Their club up 14-7. Play action for Ryan. Needs to throw it. Gets it downfield and complete to Bill Davis. First down, Pittsburgh. Bill Davis with the catch. David Mayfield covering. Bill Davis, a dependable receiver. That's his 13th catch. He's averaging almost 17 yards a pop. He got 13 on that one.
Well, John Ryan, watch him do a nice job pulling up in the pocket. Instead of taking this all the way outside where he would have gotten sacked, he stepped right back in with a lot of blue shirts around him and delivered a nice throw to Bill Davis. That's good poise in the pocket by John Ryan.
And Steve Dunlop, the defensive coordinator for West Virginia, has a lot of respect for Ryan.
Ryan is getting better. Last week he played the whole game, made some key throws, and again, I think it's going to come down to his arm today.
West Virginia with a lot of men in the box, and they jump. Let's see if the flag is on. They were showing blitz. David Mayfield was the only guy in the secondary. Offsides against the Mountaineers.
Yeah, sometimes when you get up there and you have like an all-out pass rush called like West Virginia had, those guys are down there chomping on the bit.
Ball, encroachment, contact by the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Anytime you get a long enough snap count, those guys, they become very impatient down there on the line.
Third penalty against West Virginia for 30 yards. Ball's at the 43-yard line. A 1st and 5 in Johnny Major's club. Down 14-7, but challenging again. Oh boy, all kinds of confusion there as Ryan was reading the blitz again, and the right guard pulled out. Matt Blome, the right tackle, he started moving.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
Back to where we started.
Normally a quarterback has to repeat the snap count twice in the huddle. Normally you say it before you call the play, then you say it again right before they break the huddle. John Ryan needs to make sure everybody's on the same page when they leave the huddle, because those are the penalties that can really come back and kill you when you have some momentum going.
Twin receivers to the bottom of your screen. They go weak side to Martin. Turns the corner. Run out of bounds. Wes Richardson forces him out.
Wes Richardson was flying to the football on that one. He really forced that play and drove Martin out of bounds.
How about this? They're hooting in Philly. Temple Owls leading 7-0 in the second period. ACC action for you. NC State on top of Georgia Tech. Ball's at the 39-yard line. Second down at 9 for the Panthers. Play action. Ryan's got time. Got a man deep. Going for Junior Green off the fingertips at the 25-yard line. He had beaten Aaron Beasley on that one.
Well, John took a shot at going deep here. He also had his short receiver wide open for an easy 1st down. Now, the only thing with taking the shot deep, if you don't hit it, now you've got 3rd down and 9. Watch when he comes out on the bootleg. He's got his short man right there. Bill Davis, he has the 1st down yardage. He elects to go deep for Junior Green and almost comes up with a big completion. When the receiver gets 2 hands on the ball, he should come down with it.
Indeed. Ryan, if he had it to do over again, put a little more air under that one. Going to swing it outside to Martin. 40, 45, great block. He got an unbelievable block from Sadiq Dorn. Fumbled on the play, but they're going to call him down. Mike Collins on the tackle. Fantastic block by number 8, Sadiq Durham, one of the wideouts, a junior from Pembroke Pines, Florida. That should be and is good enough for 1st down for Pitt.
Now, what's surprising to me is that you don't expect the ball to go to Curtis Martin in this situation. Look how much green he had out in front of him. Good block on Wes Richardson. Now, the ball's going to come out when he hits the ground. Right there. Good call by the officials. The ground cannot cause the fumble. But Curtis Martin coming out of the backfield, you would have expected West Virginia to have somebody spying on him, coming out there expecting the little swing pass.
Martin's got 87 yards on the ground and 20 yards via the pass. 1st and 10. The Pitt 48. Ryan on the fly. Davis. No, and a flag. 2 flags. Interference to number 24, Tommy Orr. They went for the flyer down the sideline to Bill Davis.
This was an audible at the line of scrimmage. West Virginia came up to the line. They showed blitz again. Ryan read it and went to the little quick throw. Now, Ryan got away with something here because this ball is actually too far to the inside. You want to throw this out to the outside, but the receiver was going for the ball and Tommy Orr was not going for the football. Therefore, you get the interference call. Orr never found the football and just kind of went through the receiver, but you can see his head never turned back to find the football. And the offensive guy is going to get the call in that situation.
Pittsburgh on the move after West Virginia took a 14-7 lead Kelchner, a little flip pass to Freeman, a 3-yard effort. And now Pittsburgh, which started this drive on the 22-yard line, is moving 1st and 10 at the West Virginia 37. Martin hit the backfield. Fine play. Gaskins is there. Steve Perkins is there. Big play. Barry Hawkins 2. Loss of 3.
Well, Pitt tried to go with the little counter trap, and that's something they've shown whenever they get in the offset eye, when they put the fullback offset a little bit. West Virginia Steve Dunlap said they like to run the counter trap leading with the fullback, and they get great penetration on this. Kind of anticipated the play, and you can see Hawkins was able to crash the play down from his tackle position, and that was stuffed for no gain.
2nd down, 13. Picks up the block. Ryan gets out of trouble. Throws it complete to Bill Davis, and that's close to 1st down yardage. Matt Toffoni covering for West Virginia.
We talked about Jake Kelchner becoming more comfortable with this offense. I see John Ryan becoming more comfortable too. That's twice now that he's done a nice job of stepping up inside of the pressure, staying right in the pocket.
Measurement.
Tom Famert and crew will measure this one. Ryan is showing a tremendous amount of poise. If you had seen him in the first game and then look at him what he's doing today, 5 for 7 for 49 yards, you have to be impressed. And it is a 1st down for the Pitt Panthers.
Well, I am impressed. They tried to fake the counter trap. Now, normally you tell your quarterback if they crash down, take it to the perimeter, take it to the corner where you have the run pass option. But West Virginia did a nice job getting up the field, and he had the poise to stay right in there and make a nice throw for the 1st down.
Significant numbers for the Pitt Panthers there. West Virginia crowd exhorting on the defense. 1st and 10 for Pitt at the West Virginia 26. Ryan throwing the ball, got a man deep down the middle. Junior Green inside the 5. 1st and goal, Pittsburgh. Green was open from the get-go. And the Panthers threatening again.
Excellent call. We saw the average on 1st down. A lot of that was Curtis Martin's run, but 1st down, go play action to Martin. Nice call by Kenny Karcher and a good throw by Ryan down the middle of the field to Junior Green. Safety a little bit late getting over to try to make the play.
We talked about how Ryan would play a big role in this game, knowing that Curtis Martin's a marked man. 1st and goal at the 5. 14-7 West Virginia. Martin with the call. Martin to about the 2. He stood up there by Tim Brown. Scott Gaskins got him first, number 67. In the final minute, 35 seconds left in the first period. West Virginia up 14-7.
West Virginia's linebackers are not very big, but they can run, and watch how quickly they fill the hole. Right there's Toffoni and Richardson, and Tim Brown, number 56, right there to make a stop after a very short game.
Look at this drive. 4.5 minutes plus. Wishbone set again. 2nd and goal at the 3. Play action. Ryan got a man there. Knocked out of his hands. Chance Scrocky was the intended receiver, and the play made by Mike Collins, number 25. Well-designed play as they again go away from their tendency.
That's right. Nice call again. They go to the play action. Now Ryan has Scrocky, but watch the recovery play by Mike Collins. And this is the kind of play you expect. Just kind of gets his hand up there and causes a little bit of a deflection. Scrocky, though, had both hands on the ball again.
Big play. 3rd and goal at the 3 for Pittsburgh. Down 14-7. Final seconds, first period. Wishbone set. Curtis Martin, touchdown Pittsburgh. And you see the temperatures heating up. A backyard brawl.
And again, give credit to the Pitt offense for changing up the things that they're doing when they get down in the goal line situation. This time they're going to go a little bit of cross buck action. They're going to fake it to the right. They're going to fake it to the fullback to the right and come back with a little counter action to Curtis Martin. They've not shown that. Good blocking on the left side. Reuben Brown leads it in there from his left tackle spot, and a nice change up from the tendencies on the goal line.
Tim Colicchio in there, got a piece of a West Virginia defender. Kalmanides for the extra point. It's up and good. And we've got a beauty here at Morgantown, West Virginia. Pitt Panthers go 78 yards in 11 plays. They take 4:45 off the clock, and the man, Curtis Martin, scores to tie it at 14. I like the point you made about the self-scouting, because we have seen Pitt several times, Todd, and they are really going against tendencies.
Well, you're right, and you're going to see Mike Collins right here, Richardson here, and Mayfield here. They're the linebackers, and they're going to key on the first action. Pitt's going to fake it to the fullback here, then they're going to come with the counter here, and they're going to get good blocks on the left side. But watch the reaction to the first fake. You're going to see the linebackers fill right away. There's Richardson. Then he gets picked off. Mayfield gets picked off by Kristofic.
Ooh, how about
nice
that last block? Look at Collins getting flattened on the back end of that play by Scrocky.
Scrocky says, hey, you stole my touchdown away from me. I got a little payback here for you.
Pittsburgh picked up 57 yards through the air on that drive, and Ryan having a good day.
Boy, he's showing great poise right now, Dave. Really staying in the pocket on the bootlegs. He's holding up in the pocket with some bodies flying around him. He's finding a receiver. He's 6 for 9, 71 yards. That's a great start for the guy trying to put 2 good games back-to-back right now.
Evan Leon's kick is short. Kearney has it bounce. He's at the 20 and in trouble. And that'll do it. Kenyon Robinson, who's been having a fine year in special teams, number 18, does a good job to make the stop there in his opposite number. Festive atmosphere here at Morgantown, West Virginia. Not a seat to be had.
Again, we mentioned this last week, Dave, that the Pitt philosophy that Johnny Majors has put in right now has been a situation where he said, look, we're not as concerned with how many games we win right now at this point in the season. We're trying to get better each week, and we are seeing that out of this Pitt football team. They are a much better football team today than they were 3 weeks ago.
There's Darren Studstill, the number 2 quarterback who played most of last year. He hands off to Walker. Plunges ahead, picks up a couple. And that will do it for the first quarter here at Morgantown, West Virginia. The backyard brawl's a beauty. 14-14, Pitt and West Virginia. We'll be back with second quarter action after these words from our local stations. Conference game of the week. Dave Sims and Todd Blackledge and crew with you at Morgantown, West Virginia. A little change of pace for the Mountaineers. They brought in Darren Studstill at quarterback, the senior out of Palm Beach Garden, Florida. His career numbers, there you see there, not a real good ratio, TDs and interceptions. Played the bulk of last year with Kelchner out with some problems with the elbow.
Did a nice job when he came in 2 weeks ago in the Louisville game. Also led the Mountaineers on a 75-yard scoring drive, capping it off with an 8-yard touchdown pass to the tight end Nate Ryan. He was 4 or 5 in that ball game. So he's a guy who can give a little bit of a spark to this offense with his running and throwing ability.
Second down and 7. Buying time, going to take it down and run across the 25 up to about the 29-yard line before John McCray brings him down, number 67. It'll be third and short for the Mountaineers. Numbers pretty even.
Real even. 6 first downs for both teams and no turnovers for either team. It's been a well-played first quarter.
Not bad for Pitt Ball Club, prohibitive underdog for the second week in a row. Pitt played Syracuse real tough, had a heartbreaking loss. It turned out this new tight end they brought in lined up on the wrong side, preventing completion of a 4th and 2 at the too late in the game. Stud's still on the option. He's got the first down and more. Cutting back against the grain into daylight. Maurice Williams collars him at about the 46-yard line. That's a fine gain of 17 for Darren Studstill.
Well, Darren Studstill is a good thrower, but he's an excellent runner, and that's the spark that they were hoping to get from him. You can see he runs the same option, fake into the fullback, who gets a great block on the strong safety Sumner. And then Studstill does the rest, just showing great running ability. He's a very instinctive runner, knows when to cut, when to shake and bake a little bit. Comes up with a big play for the Mountaineers.
First and 10 at the 46. Play action. Studstill's got time. Throws for Kearney. He's there. Got it inside the 10. First and goal, West Virginia. He beat the double coverage. David Sumner is there along with Denoris Mosley, but another big play for Jake Kearney. It covers 49 yards.
Well, I knew Kearney was going to be ready for a big play today. He only had one catch for 7 yards against Louisville, but he came into the game averaging 33 yards a catch. Watch him just run the post pattern now. The Pitt defenders have their back to the ball. They can't find the football. Kearney does. And by the time they react, it's too late. A nice throw and catch. Look at the end here. Kearney had him beat, actually had to slow down a little bit to wait for the football. But still, good concentration and comes down with the catch.
Been a big play guy all year. Hit an 83-yard TD against Missouri, a 75-yarder against Eastern Michigan, a 67 against Maryland. And they're in for the touchdown. Walker scores. West Virginia back on top, 20-14.
Give to the tailback, lead with the fullback. Fullback gets a good block on Simpson and then a broken tackle. John McCray can't stop Walker, has a good head of steam and takes it into the end zone. Good power football. Lead with your fullback, isolation play. Tailback takes it in.
Sauerbrun's kick is good, and the 5th touchdown of the season by Robert Walker puts West Virginia up by the score of 21-14 with 13:09 left in the second period. We'll be back to Morgantown after these messages. On 13:09 left second quarter, West Virginia up 21-14.
We talked about how important it would be for Pitt to stop the big pass plays. Now this guy right here is the strong safety, David Sumner. Look, he's only about 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. He's kind of flirting around trying to show blitz to Darren Studstill. But when West Virginia goes with the play action, he gets hung up in here and he can't recover in time to stop the deep throw to Kearney. Watch. Go play action. He's still around the line of scrimmage. Now he tries to turn and run to get under the receiver. And now he's beat on the play. He can't get back and help on Kearney. And it's a big pass play for West Virginia.
West Virginia. Kelchner, the starter, warming up. Very successful drive by Darren Studstill. Like Jacob said, he would like to get a change of pace, and it's been effective so far. Sauerbrunn creams this one. Maybe, hey, Todd, maybe you're right. Maybe he did get into the weight room and pump up a little bit. John Ryan has had the hot hand. He's 6 for 9 on the afternoon. Ryan came in as a 60% passer with 5 TDs and 3 interceptions on the season.
Here's a look at the touchdown again. They go tailback isolation. Good block by the fullback, and then just good strength by Robert Walker. 2 guys there to make the tackle, Tumbledy and John McCray. When he took them both into the end zone, he had better leverage on the play. And again, you see the 2 arms wrapped around the football. Robert Walker doesn't want to drop it today.
Chad Dukes in the game. He's the up back for Curtis Martin. Give it to Chad. He breaks it. Big hole. Chad Dukes trying to get to the outside, and he's close to the 40-yard line. Terrace Alexander, number 44, saves him. Makes the stop. 19-yard gain for Chad Dukes.
Well, we saw Dukes make 2 big catches last week. This is only his 7th carry of the year for Pitt, but they kind of surprised the West Virginia defense. Give it to the up back. Now, Pitt runs a lot of their offense with just 1 back. They very seldom have 2 backs in the game, and when they do, it's almost always a give to Curtis Martin, the tailback.
31 yards on the season for Dukes, adding to it again. Big hole if he gets a block from Davis. Picks up the first down into West Virginia territory inside the 45. Tommy Orr. You see Dukes looking at Davis. If you block that guy, I can get outside and go for 6.
Well, Chad Dukes has already tripled his rushing yardage for the season on these 2 carries. They fake the toss to the tailback. That causes the linebackers to fly out of there, and they kind of give it right back to the fullback on the play. Nice design play. You turn around, you fake the toss, you get the defense running, and then you give it back to the fullback.
Ball's at the West Virginia 43. The offense is having their way today. It's 21-14 West Virginia. Movement, left guard move for Pitt. Dave Christophic, number 71.
Dead ball. illegal procedure, 5-yard penalty, offense. First down.
There's Don Nealon. You remember last week at Syracuse, Johnny Majors told us at halftime, I've commissioned the defense to win the game. I told the offense to stop making stupid plays. I know he's saying the same thing right now.
This game here is starting out a little bit like Game 4 of the World Series. A lot of offense and not much defense.
Last team to have the ball wins. Ryan, play action. Got a couple of men down here. Uh-oh, it's picked off. It's a pick. And one guy's waving it off. Okay, they wave it off. It was number 22, Harold Kidd, out of Okeechobee High School in Florida. Thought he had it. It would have been his second interception of the season.
Well, Harold Kidd was the only guy close to the action here because there was a mix-up between the receiver and quarterback John Ryan. He's going to throw the ball out, and the receiver Davis is breaking it in, or Junior Green's breaking it in. Kidd had the best shot at that one, but I think it's a good call. You can see the ball is going to hit the turf right there. It's on the stripe, on the 30-yard line stripe. Good call by the officiating crew.
Second and 15 at the West Virginia 48. Ryan, play action. Got time. Over the middle. Picked off by Tufoni. Gets a block to the 40. Inside Pitt territory is a flag late hit on number 55, Jared Miller. West Virginia takes over, and Giant Ryan, he got crushed.
Well, John Ryan got away with one to play before. This time he's not so fortunate. Watch the pass rush. Watch the bodies in his face. Perkins gets a good rush. He loses sight of his receiver and throws it right to Matt Tufoni, who turns it into a good gain off the interception. But good pass rush by Perkins and company. That's what caused, look, great rush, just throws Bloom out of the way, gets a good inside rush.
Oh,
and then a little bit of a sandwich. That's a QB sandwich between Terrace Alexander and Steve Perkins.
I'll meet you at the 1, I'll meet you at the 4. Woo! That is some hit. And tackle on the 15. John Ryan trying to figure out what time zone he's in right now. Ball's at the 32 of Pitt. They tacked on the 15-yard for the personal foul, the late hit.
Really the first bad decision John Ryan's made, throwing the football through that one right into
cover. Here's Kelchner going for 6. He's got Baker. Touchdown, West Virginia.
A nice call by Mike Jacobs. You get the turnover, you're in plus territory. Go right now for the jugular. Go for the big play. They catch Pitt in a blitz situation. The middle of the field's wide open, and we talked about this guy's ability. Mike Baker, he's a big play guy.
No doubt about it. Second TD for Baker. 7th for Kelchner on the season. Mountaineers lead it 28-14, second quarter. We're back to Morgantown after these words from our local stations. A welcome, his hellos to his grandmother, Susie Mae Walker, and what a good hello he did with that TD pass right there.
Well, he has been a big play guy all year for the Mountaineers. You can see good play action. Kelchner stays right in there and delivers it under good pressure. No free safety in the middle of the field. And the corner gave up inside position. Big play, and Kelchner at the end of it. He took a little bit of a shot, but I'll tell you what, you don't feel it when it's a long touchdown pass.
Got the fireworks Mountaineer fans are looking for here today in the backyard brawl. Sauerbrun's kick. 5 yards deep. Mosley does the right thing and says, I'll keep it right here. Boy, does this game bring a lot of emotion to the table.
I like the call by Mike Jacobs, too. You get the turnover, you're inside the 50-yard line, and right away you go for the touchdown. You make a big throw down the field. I mean, it doesn't always work out, but when you have a team on their heels a little bit, that's the time to really go for it.
Bart Starr made a career of doing that with the Packers in the NFL. And it's a sound way of operating. Penalty on the kickoff. It's against West Virginia. things straighten out here.
Dead ball. Personal foul. Against receiving team.
It's Pittsburgh.
First down and 10.
The Panthers got to keep their poise. A lot of time left here in the second quarter. 28-14 West Virginia.
Pitt has not had very good field position in this first half. They've had to come out of their own territory quite a bit.
Need to get a drive going here. With the Chad Dukes, not this time. Scott Gaskins, number 67's there.
Scott Gaskins, I was watching him yesterday. Don Nealon did a pretty interesting thing with his team at the end of their walkthrough. He took the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman and paired them up and had a throwing catching contest. He was the quarterback, and the lines were competing against each other, and by far the worst receiver of the bunch was Scott Gaskins. He had some real problems trying to catch the football.
No problems catching Dukes. 2nd and 9. Show blitz. Get outside to Martin. Cuts it back inside. He's hit at the 15. Boy, does he draw a crowd. Leaves Longino. Number 81. Gets the first pop in there. Longino will take a seat after making the play.
Wes Richardson, the middle linebacker. Now, he's only 228 pounds. You can see he got way too high on that play. And the fullback, Chad Dukes, got right into his pads, did a nice job blocking him out of the hole. He's got great speed, but he's got to use leverage to offset his lack of size in there in the middle.
It's going to send 4 receivers out. Lions got time, throws wide side of the field, and it's good for a first down to Sadiq Durham. Sadiq Durham, his 3rd catch of the season, number 8. He beats the coverage of Aaron Beasley. And last week, Sadiq Durham caught a pass where he needed 9. He only went 8. They didn't get it on the 3rd down. This time he makes it happen.
Well, those are things you learn the more that you play. He's a guy who's getting more and more playing time with the injury to Dietrich Gels, and those are things that you learn, and that's comes from good coaching too. Go over that in the film. You make sure it's a point well understood and well taken, and the next time you get that opportunity, you make it work right.
Sadiq made an impact earlier. The previous Pitt possession, a big block to spring Curtis Martin on a swing pass. On the reverse, Junior Green breaks 1 tackle. Good looking run considering he was hitting the backfield. David Mayfield, number 30, finally brings him down.
Yeah, you're exactly right. West Virginia guessed right. They came with an outside blitz. They brought people off both corners. This play really was stopped in the backfield. You can see it right behind the quarterback. They're not fooled. Here's the blitz, and Junior does a great job avoiding that tackle by Tim Brown there. Collins came from the backside. He was blitzing as well. Give credit to Junior Green for turning that into any kind of a game.
Anthony Dorsett, Sadiq Durham, wides to the bottom of your screen, straight up the middle. Dukes to about the 28. Attracted a little get-together there. Gaskins, among others. Matt Tafoni, who had the interception to set up the last West Virginia score. West Virginia, very productive with that group of 11 right there. 3rd and 5. 3 for 5, rather, is the Pitt Panthers on 3rd down situations. Lions got time on the 2nd go-round, complete to Bill Davis. And now they wipe it off. So that'll bring up a punting situation for the Panthers. Tommy Orr covering for West Virginia. So a good stand by the Mountaineer defense. Mountaineers lead it 28-14 with 8:36 to go here in the first half.
And you can see just a little extra pop in that defense this particular series. After they get the turnover, the offense converts right away, gets another touchdown on the board. The defense comes out. It's got a little bit of extra zip in the legs.
Fabulous punt by Cochran back to the 20 for Baker. Picks up the wall and then hit hard. Hit hard by number 31 for Pittsburgh. That's Chris Patton. 52-yard punt, 4-yard return. It's 28-14 West Virginia. We're back after these messages.
Over, so to speak, and now we get down to the real work, because our next 6 opponents are all outstanding football teams, and you know, some teams can handle winning, some teams can't handle it, and hopefully our guys will be able to stay focused and play them one at a time, because I guarantee if we don't, we'll have no chance to win.
West Virginia 18th in the country this week. New York Times, by the way, Todd, has them number 2 in the country. Syracuse, Rutgers, Temple, Miami, and BC.
Thing about the fact that they've got the toughest part of their schedule, they're building great momentum with winning these games consecutively and putting more and more pieces of the puzzle together each week.
Walker finds some room left side, gets across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Tom Tumultude with the tackle. Help from Maurice Williams.
A couple new linemen in there now for West Virginia, trying to get some fresh legs in. Dan Harless is in at center now, number 61. Harless was expected to be the starting center. He was a backup to Mike Compton last year, but he injured his knee in the summer. Actually injured it against Eastern Michigan in the opening game, and saw his first return to action 2 weeks ago against Louisville. So Mountaineers happy to have him back in the fold.
Beautiful fake by Kelchner. Got a short man underneath. That's Freeman across the 40. And he picks up a first down. Jim Freeman with the catch. Mountaineers really slick. Check that. Rodney Woodard with the catch. Eric Parker brings him down. First down, Mountaineers.
West Virginia very seldom throws to their tailbacks, but they throw a lot to their fullbacks, and they do it mainly on the bootleg and the play action. Woodard again wide open out in the flat thanks to the play action.
Temple leading at the half. Significant development for Ron Dickerson. Everybody rooting for Ron. Rutgers up on Virginia Tech, a surprise. 1st and 10. Ball's at the 44. Straight up the middle. Walker with room. Breaks a tackle. And another one. First down, West Virginia. Derek Parker has to stop him again. Robert Walker showing all kinds of ability and explosiveness today, Todd.
Well, he is, and you got a new center and 2 new guards in there, and they're kind of wearing down the Pitt defense right now. Good blocking at the point of attack, and Walker picks up his 78th yard on 9 carries, 22 on that particular carry.
West Virginia line right now: Bram, Tirado, Harless, Bell, and Click. Ball's at the Pitt 35. Mountaineers up 28-14. 6:50 left in the first half. Kelchner has it knocked down and picked off. Running down the right sideline, picking up a block is Mattis Sillick. He needs a couple of blocks. Williams gives him one, and he's out of bounds at the 21-yard line. First down, Pittsburgh.
Mattis Sillick was going on that one too, boy. He was chucking it down the sideline. We saw the same thing last week. John McCray got a tip, and another lineman, Mike Hallepin, got the interception last week against Syracuse. This time, they get the tip, and Hosselik's going to come down with the interception. Watch, Kelchner comes out, little quick roll. Nice timing on the jump on the outside.
That was Mike Hallepin who knocked it down.
Hallepin gets the deflection. Hosselik gets the interception. And look, the big fella is chugging it down the sideline. He wasn't looking for a defensive back to turn it and flip it to.
Pittsburgh back in business after that 43-yard return. They go straight up the middle with Dukes. And that play has pretty much outlived its usefulness after picking up 18 and 19 on successive tries earlier in the quarter.
Well, you've got to try to show a little bit of something else just so the defense cannot consistently key in on Curtis Martin in the running game. You've got to throw it, give it to the fullback, let him run it a couple times, do a little different things. Might even see John Ryan run an option at some point just to take a little of the pressure off the tailback.
Kenny Ferguson, the second-string quarterback, to the bottom of your screen. Junior Green in the slot. West Virginia showing blitz. They come, they stop it, see ya. Tim Brown was the first one there, and everybody else got in on the action. Terrace Alexander, number 44, is there too.
A lot of times you think as a fan that the only time a defense blitzes is when it's a pass situation and they want to try to get a sack on the quarterback. When you're expecting run, it's also can be a good time to blitz because now you get 8 or 9 people around the ball, around the line of scrimmage aggressively, and you can stuff running plays and put a team into long yardage situations on 3rd down. And that's exactly what West Virginia did there.
There's Tim Brown. He's out with an injury. Davis and Green to the bottom of your screen for Pittsburgh. Big 3rd down play. Panthers down 28-14. Ryan, time, got a man there. Martin hit, and it's good for a 1st down. He's down to the 10-yard line, and just what the Panthers didn't want to see, he's hurt, and it looks like it could be a shoulder or an elbow on the left side. Nonetheless, it's the 1st down for the Panthers.
Well, he's not going to show it if he is hurt, but you can see he's favoring that left arm a little bit. Probably is the left shoulder. He took a real pop here, and it's a great thing he held on to the football. Ryan makes a nice throw, and they get the 1st down. Watch the pop right here at the end. David Mayfield and Van Washington combined, the 2 safeties, put a good lick on Curtis Martin.
Pitt threatening again after the interception. It's 1st and 10 at the 11. Billy West replaces Martin. Give it inside to Dukes. Finds some room, picks up a couple. Wes Richardson wrestles him down. You hear the pop. Good stick by Wes Richardson.
Wes Richardson, a very active linebacker. You can see there's a big guy coming out to block him. He gets good leverage, sheds that block of the center, Lawson Malika, and then gets there to make the play. It's all about leverage for a linebacker. You know, that's a 225-pound guy dealing with a 280-pound guy, but if you stay lower and get your pads under his, you can still get off the block and make the play. That time, Richardson, very good technique.
Not near faithful, urging on the defense. 4 minutes left. 1st half, 28-14 West Virginia. Pitt threatening. Blitz from the corner. Fade, left side. Davis there, picked off. Beasley with the INT. Penalty flag on the play.
I think they're going to call it illegal motion on Pitt. And if it's illegal motion, then they're going to come back and run the play again.
Dead ball, delay of the game, the snap never occurred.
Boy, what a break for Pitt. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, as a coach, Johnny Majors probably hates getting a delay of game, but in this case, he'll take it because they wiped the interception off. There was a blitz, John Ryan audibled, and Beasley knew the throw was coming. He knew they were going to go for the fade, and he just reacted like a wide receiver and made an excellent play on the football.
And Beasley's the guy you've said.
On the clock.
Beasley's the guy you said gives too much cushion, but he made a nice play there.
Well, I'll tell you what, they guessed right. West Virginia came up in a blitz situation. They forced the audible, and then they guessed right as to what the audible would be, and Beasley just read the play beautifully and made a nice break on the ball.
All right, where do you go here? 2nd and 13 at the 14.
I think you try to throw the football. I would throw something to the wide side here, a little combination route, get a flood pattern out to the left side.
Davis and Green there, the blitz, everybody's coming. Ryan throws it away. He'll be flagged for that one. And Ryan takes a big spill, too. Boy, there was nobody within a couple of time zones of that one. Goodness. Don Nealon looking for the flag. He saw that there was no receiver anywhere near that ball. Don's looking for the call.
There was a tight end out there, but he was breaking to the inside, and Ryan just threw the ball to the outside. He was clearly getting rid of that football because Tim Brown was bearing down from the outside. And good pressure by the linebackers for West Virginia.
Curtis Martin back in the game. 3rd and 12, clock at 3:38. Ryan inside post, better picked off. Collins, oh boy, he tried to get out of the grasp of Junior Green. He was picking up blockers, trying to go coast to coast, and there's flags all over the place. Mike Collins with another big stop for West Virginia. 20-yard return by the senior captain.
Dead ball, personal foul against the defensive team. 1st down.
Second time Pittsburgh's been called for the personal foul after an interception.
Well, this is a big momentum turn play. They're trying to go with the quick slant, and Collins just steps right in front of the intended receiver, reads it perfectly. Sadiq Durham was the intended receiver, and Collins, reading the eyes of the quarterback the whole way, makes a veteran move and steps into it.
Sixth career interception for Mike Collins.
Again, Durham had no way of knowing Collins was there. Collins is reading the quarterback, and the penalty occurred at the end here. Junior Green gets called for flipping the feet and the legs of Collins up after the play, and another costly penalty.
Woodard and Walker in the backfield. The draw to Walker. Big hole, 50. Picks up a block to the 40. First down, West Virginia. Finally brought down by Gerald Simpson with help from David Sumner. Boy, if you like offense, this is your game. 3:21 left, first half. Walker slow to get up. He had battling some bad ankles earlier in the season.
And what we're seeing here too is the difference between a team that's 1-5 and a team that's undefeated. You can see West Virginia kind of feels it right now. They know they've got Pitt on the ropes a little bit. They just dodged a bullet, and so their offensive line comes out, gets a good push, taking charge of the line of scrimmage.
20-yard run for Walker. He stays in. Good-looking play fake by Kelchner. Throws to a short man, Walker. 30, 25, running about at the 21. First down, Mountaineers. No pressure on Kelchner. Still the old Sid Luckman back there. He may not get dirty.
Great job of pass protection. Again, you've got your backup guards and center in the ball game, but it doesn't matter. Kelchner has all kind of time, and he just kind of dumps it off to his tailback, Walker. He was an outlet receiver, and that's only Walker's third reception of the year.
The old Bears of the 40, Sid Luckman, they said, could quarterback out of a rocking chair. Nobody'd ever touch him. First and 10 at the Pitt 22. And they'll stop that play. They're running the option. Busy day for Tom Thamert and company. Illegal procedure against the Mountaineers.
Right tackle.
So the right tackle.
Dead ball. Illegal procedure. First down.
Unusual. He didn't know his mic was on. It's unusual in a college game. We're used to that in a pro game. It was Chris Click, number 70, who moved.
He didn't know his mic was on. He was probably yelling that to the coach. The coach wanted to know who was the penalty on. Now everybody knows.
They're going to run that same play. Kelchner keeps the sandwich. Hayes Clark is there. David Sumner. And Tony Reardon. Stay with us. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look back at happenings in the Big East. Mountaineer Magic is back. They can tell you that here at Mountaineer Field, and we'll have some stats and highlights. And that'll be a lot to go over, Todd. 28-14 with 2:20 left in the first half. Kelchner with 2 TD passes on the afternoon.
Talk about the Magic being back. 2 weeks ago, they tore a goalpost down here. The last time they did that was in '88 when they beat Penn State.
Kelchner under pressure from the loose ball. Pittsburgh's got it. They finally put some pressure, and now they're going to wave it off and say West Virginia got it. What a break. What a break for the Mountaineers.
Ball belongs to West Virginia.
Recovered by number 72, Pete Tirado.
Well, they do get great pressure. Here's John McCray, who's really become a big play guy. Gets the strip on the quarterback, Kelchner. Hayes Clark doesn't know where the ball is, and by the time he does turn around, a nice job by Tirado. Just kind of a reactionary play. Took the ball away from Hayes Clark.
Third and several, as you can see there, the 34-yard line. Inside a minute and a half, 28-14 West Virginia. Kelchner under pressure. Hayes Clark's got him. Can't hold him. Kelchner's got a lot of running room, and a saving tackle by John McCray. The middle of the field was wide open for Kelchner. Kelchner almost broke one.
Kelchner is a very resourceful quarterback. I tell you, and he's deceivingly strong too. He's a very stocky built guy. Watch him as he shakes off the tackle, the would-be tackle of Hayes Clark. Now Clark's got him. He's got both hands on him. He just kind of shakes him off. That's strength in the pocket. Now when he turns up here, He gets tripped up, and McCray is able to finish him off. But you were right, Dave. He had plenty of green grass, or AstroTurf, I should say, in front of him.
Timeout on the field, 28-14 West Virginia. We're back to Morgantown after these messages. West Virginia, 28-14, final minute of the first half. Todd Sauerbrunn going for a field goal. This will be a 45-yard attempt, his longest of the season.
This is not a problem distance-wise. It's just accuracy becomes a problem when you get this far out.
Got enough leg, and it's no good. So Sauerbrunn now 7 for 12 in the field goal department. Stay with us at halftime. Halftime features, stats, and highlights from Morgantown, West Virginia. This is the Backyard Brawl, the 86th edition. Since 1943, though, it's been an interesting series. 14, 12, and 2. The edge goes to the Mountaineers. And next week, Miami hosting the Temple Owls. And the Owls right now leading at the Vet against the Akron Zips. Chad Dukes, no sir, loose ball. Second down, so Pitt did recover. Chad Dukes drew a crowd. Timeout, West Virginia. For Nealon. A little incredulous. What's up, he's saying?
I think you'll see John Ryan maybe down the ball here. They give it to the fullback and say, hey, let's run the clock out and take it in, and he ends up fumbling the football. So I know Johnny Majors just wants to get the clock over with, get the half ended, go in and regroup at halftime. You certainly don't want to turn the football over now.
Or give Sauerbrunn a chance to put up a 3-spot. Just missed from 45. Other action around college football in the conference. They're about to start the second half at the Vet in South Philly. Rutgers and Virginia Tech. Remember last year, 50-49 Rutgers at Rutgers Stadium. NC State leading. What's wrong with Iowa? They were expected to be a lot better than what they've showed to this point. Michigan State has surprised a lot of people.
Michigan State's a good football team. They moved the ball up and down the field against Ohio State last week before losing in the fourth quarter.
Jim Caldwell's club leading against Duke, and Caldwell and Wake Forest with a great win against Clemson.
Duke, I don't think they haven't won an ACC game for, I don't know, it's about 17, 18 games in a row since they've won one in conference.
I think Ryan will take a knee here on 2nd and 13.
Not in a formation for him to do it.
Play action, surprising everybody. Throw underneath to Colicchio. Gets up to the 35-yard line. That'll be short of a first down. Longino with the tackle, number 81. And that will do it for the first half. It has been a sparkling. Johnny Majors, Don Nealon. Seen the offenses be quite productive here in the first 30 minutes at Morgantown. 28-14 the score. Coach Don Nealon, Dave Sims, and Todd Blackledge upstairs. Kelchner and your offense, very productive, quick strike ability so far today. Looking pretty good.
Well, offensively, Dave, we look pretty good, but defensively, we look like we don't have any idea how to play. I think maybe we better wake them up at halftime. I'll tell you that. That's ridiculous. Not playing with any enthusiasm.
Coach, you were able to get Darren Studso in the game, directed another touchdown drive. You got to be happy with that.
Well, we got two fine quarterbacks. We're very fortunate.
Don, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us here at halftime. West Virginia leading by the score of 28-14 over the Pitt Panthers. We'll be back with our halftime activities after these words from our local station.
And most of the fumbles came in the early ball games this year. Walker and Gary, the two tailbacks, even though we haven't seen Jimmy Gary today, done a much better job in the last 3 weeks securing the football.
Here's Kearney to start the second half. And he is stopped. A fine play by number 35, Curtis McGee, denying access to the outside for Kearney. A good stop by McGee has West Virginia inside the 15-yard line at the 13. Right now you look for Kelchner and company to use some clock. They're up by 2 scores. See if they can burn some clock here, right? Get a drive and go in for 6.
They've shown a good mixture today in the different things they're doing offensively. And again, the big play has been the thing that's hurt the Pitt defense. And Kelchner has really capitalized with some big plays down the field.
Penalty flag on the play. Walker carries, and Tom Barnes the first to meet him. Flag went up quickly. And a bad start for the Panthers. An offside call after they limited Walker to no gain.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's a case where somebody on the Pitt defensive line actually lined up in the neutral zone because nobody moved on the defensive front. He was just obviously lined up offsides to begin the play.
Hill and Kearney come to the bottom of your screen. And up puts some pressure on it. They roll to that side. Kelchner looking, deep ball, throws short. Hill's got it, first down at the 36. He beat David Sumner, number 46.
West Virginia's run this play 2 or 3 times in the ball game already, and he's always thrown to the fullback coming out first. This time Pitt does a nice job defending the fullback. You can see Kelchner wants to go there first. He's not there, but look how he just pulls up right in the pocket, throws a rope down there to his wide receiver, Ed Hill. Hill is actually the secondary receiver coming across the field. Good job reading the defense by Jake Kelchner.
2 catches for Hill. Tom Tumulty on the stop against Freeman. Tumulty, the heart and soul of the Pitt defense. Co-leader in sacks with 2, solo tackle leader, and total tackle leader.
Does a nice job just filling the hole right there, reading the play to the fullback, and really that's man on man when you come to the fullback against the middle linebacker. Normally they're tied up with each other with the fullback blocking, but when the fullback gets to carry the ball, the middle linebacker, somebody's right there to meet him.
They go for the swing pass. It's caught by Walker. Good stick, and Walker falls on the ball. Doug Whaley with a good play. Kelchner getting up slowly. He took a big lick. That's a loss of 10 on the play.
Well, it's amazing that Jake Kelchner even got a chance to throw this ball, that this was not a fumble. John McCrae's going to come from the outside. I think it's John McCrae, number 67. They blitz. He gets hit. Kelchner's hit in the back, still is able to get the throw off. Now there's a fumble right there, but the ball bounces right back up into the stomach of Walker. So that could have been a disastrous play for West Virginia. As it turns out, just a simple loss of 10.
Pitt looking for a defensive stop and or a break here. West Virginia up 28-14. 3 minutes in, and there's the line moving left side. Graham and Robsock started moving prematurely. Left guard and left tackle for the Mountaineers. So that'll push them back again.
Well, not a very efficient beginning for West Virginia here to start the second half.
You could hear the official, Tom Favorite, say it was the left tackle and left guard.
And this is a critical play for the Pitt defense. Now you've got them backed up. You just got to maintain your integrity and make a solid play here. Don't play great defense on 2 downs and then fall apart on 3rd down.
Passing down, curl inside will be way short to Kearney. Gets it up to the 34-yard line.
Interesting thing there that happened. Pitt went with the blitz on 3rd and very long. They forced a quick throw by Kelchner, and even if it's a completion as it was, it's well short of the 1st down. So a calculated guess by Chuck Driesbach, going with the blitz and forcing the short, hot throw.
Sauerbrunn averaging 46.8 on his punts. He got it on this one. The Norse mostly inside the 20. Not a lot of room. Did well to get to the 24-yard line. That's a punt of 50 yards, a return of only 7 A nuke job by Todd Sauerbrunn. 28-14 West Virginia. We're back after these messages. The second half of today's Big East football telecast is brought to you in part by Fisher Favorites, Fisher flavor, or it's just plain nuts. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Within us all lies a hidden child. A child whose heart soars with the magic of earthbound flight. A child who sees adventure in every strip of road. The simple design and pure uncluttered performance of Ford Probe GT. A pure and simple sports coupe designed to release your inner child and teach him to drive.
Plain peanuts are suddenly plain nuts.
Introducing new Fisher Favorites Crunchy Baked Peanuts. You'll get a double crunch. Crunchy peanuts inside, a crispy crunch outside. And they're baked, not fried, for a double crunch. There's honey grain and barbecue, too. You get a double crunch. New Fisher Favorites Crunchy Baked Peanuts. It's Fisher flavor. It's just plain nuts.
Back here at Morgantown, West Virginia, Mountaineers lead at 28-14. Early minutes, third quarter. This copyrighted telecast is produced by authority of the Big East Football Conference and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or any use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Big East Football Conference is prohibited. Big crowd, 65,041, eighth largest crowd in West Virginia history. Watching Pitt trying to get back into this game. They're down by 14. Look at Chad Dukes, who breaks it again. Spinning, first down, up to the 40-yard line. Mike Collins knocks him down. Chad Dukes, impressive in action this afternoon.
Well, again, they're going with the fullback, trying to take a little pressure off Martin. Now, see, what they're doing is they're faking the toss to the tailback. That's causing the linebackers to just take maybe one or two steps to the outside, which allows the fullback to hit it quick in behind him, and a couple missed tackles. Again, the importance on tackling well for the West Virginia defense.
15 yards in the play. Dukes having a good afternoon. 7 carries, 57 yards. While at the Pitt 39. Martin with a bruised shoulder. It was listed as questionable starting the second half. Picks up maybe a yard and change. Wes Richardson stops him, and you can see Martin getting up gingerly.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's completely there right now. He's kind of gutting it out right now. I think he's going to continue to try to play because he's an exceptionally tough kid, but you can see he's not favoring that shoulder a little bit, maybe not going to hit it up in there quite as hard as he would have in the first half before that hit on the shoulder.
Ball's at the 41. Junior Green to the bottom of your screen. And that one got all fouled up. It's remarkable how we've seen Pitt have these kinds of difficulties today and last week.
Now this was a design situation. They got Derek Wiley to jump off sides, and when the center saw that, he automatically snapped the ball to John Ryan.
Offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty.
Good read, and that's one of the automatics that you use as a center.
Well, you change up your snap count. John Ryan did that as the quarterback, and Lawson Malika is tuned in, and the quarterback has to be tuned in too. Hey, if they come across the line of scrimmage, I'm going to snap it, so be ready to catch the football.
Brings up a good situation for the Panthers. 2nd and 3 at their own 46. West Virginia leads 28-14. 10:25 to go, third period. Martin scoots outside, gets close to the 50. Had to get to the 49 for the first. Mike Collins with the tackle, help from Richardson.
Curtis Martin's hurting. I mean, he's trying to stay in the ball game, but you can see he's really favoring that shoulder right now, and he knows that he's not going to be as effective as possibly someone else on his team right now because he's not able to hold on to the football well enough or stick his shoulder up in there and get leverage. And you can see he wants to play, but they're going to have to rely on Tim Colicchio, I think, to carry the ball here in the second half.
Colicchio was the leading rusher for Pittsburgh last year with Martin out with various injuries. So Colicchio going to have to get it done today. Ball's right at midfield. Corner's creeping, the blitz, here comes the reverse. Fumble, loose ball, let's see who gets it. Pitt has retained possession. So a break for the Panthers.
Well, that's 2 times now that Pitt has tried to run a reverse, and both times they've run it right into a blitz. You can see it's an 8-man front. They're blitzing from the outside. Tim Brown and Tommy Orr is coming from the corner. There's too many guys around the football, and again, Pitt avoids disaster by falling on that loose football. But it's good to try to call the reverse, but unfortunately for Pitt, they've called it 2 times against a blitz.
Colicchio was the one that was open. He gets a call here. Picks up a few, across the 45 to about the 47. Matt Tafoni with help from Derek Wiley. Stop that play. Seems like every week Pitt Panthers are playing somebody ranked in the top 25, and because they are.
Yeah, 5th consecutive game against a team ranked in the top 25. That's a very, very difficult task for any team.
3rd and 13 for John Ryan and company. The 47. Blitz coming, picked up. Ryan throws, hangs it up. That ball's in trouble. Collins makes an effort for it. Comes up short. Somebody tipped that ball. Intense pressure from Wes Richardson, Scott Gaskins, and a whole bunch of Mountaineers stop this Pitt drive. Talking to Matt Cavanaugh, not a lot going on for Pittsburgh on that play.
Well, another blitz. You can see Chad Dukes does a nice job picking up Tafoni, but Ryan holds on to the ball a little bit long, and right as he's going to throw it, his arm is tipped, and he doesn't get anything on the football, and the ball just kind of flutters harmlessly down the middle of the field.
Nate Cochran to punt with time, and they go with the fake. Colicchio, can he get outside? He does. But he didn't pick up the first down. There is a penalty flag on the play. Charles Emmanuel, number 2, makes the stop for West Virginia. So the shovel pass to Colicchio does not work, and holding against Pittsburgh compounds things. West Virginia will decline, and the Mountaineers will take over at midfield.
Holding against the offensive team. Penalty is refused. First down, West Virginia.
West Virginia will take over when we come back. 8:17 to go. 3rd period, 28-14 Mountaineers. We're back after these words from our local stations.
1876 to Little Bighorn. General George Custer finds himself surprised and surrounded by the Cherokee Indians. Had he owned a cellular phone from Eckler, history would not have recorded this event as Custer's last stand, but Custer's first 911 call. For less than $1 a day, a cellular phone from Eckler Communications, the #1 authorized agent of Bell South Mobility, provides the added safety you need when life's unexpected surprises pop up. And Eckler guarantees to beat anyone's prices by 10%. Eckler Communications, serving Melbourne, Merritt Island, Daytona, Sanford, and all of Metro Orlando. Because one call could change your life.
At Vero Beach Chrysler Plymouth RV, we have no salespeople, no pressure, no runaround. What we do have is the best selection of Chryslers, Plymouths, and RVs on the Treasure Coast. So remember, no salespeople, no pressure, no runaround. But if it's transportation you're looking for, see us at Vero Beach Chrysler Plymouth RV, US 1 at Oslo Road. See you today.
Before you choose a shop to paint your car, ask a few questions. What about their work? Can they deliver a factory finish for only $169? Or is it just another repaint? Can they get you rolling again fast, no hassles? And do they have a solid nationwide guarantee? How does Mako do all this for as little as $169? Easy. There are over 400 of us, Mako owners backing you up coast to coast. When it's time to paint your car, make it easy, make it right, make it Mako.
Come back to the backyard brawl here at Morgantown. 28-14, Mountaineers leading over the Panthers.
Well, Pitt on special teams tried to go for an onside kick earlier in the game. Now they're going to try a fake punt. They need 13 yards, and Cochran, the punter, is going to try to just shovel it right here to Colicchio, who's lined up as the personal protector. Now, right here, you can't see him because of the goalpost, is Chad Dukes. That's who's going to get called for the holding penalty, so even if they make it, the play's going to get wiped off. West Virginia was not fooled on it. They're kind of playing safe, and you can see Duke's holding right there. But that play would have been stopped close to the line of scrimmage. As it is, first down for the Mountaineers.
Kelchner, pump and go, nothing there. Finds a second guy, very impressive. First down, West Virginia. Looked like it might have been trapped, but a good sell job by number 7, Mike Baker. And the sale's completed.
Yeah, the best way to sell that is just get up and act like it was an easy catch, like it wasn't even a question. Take a look at this. Kelchner's trying to throw the quick thing there. It's not there. Now he has to get off the line of scrimmage a little bit. That's a nice job of knowing where he's at in the pocket. Here's the end of that. I don't know. It looks like it was a good catch. Baker got his arms underneath.
Got that left arm underneath. The draw. Wide open there. Up the middle. First down goes Jim Freeman. Mountaineers moving. David Sumner gets pounded, but he makes the stop. All down to the 31-yard line. Pickup of 14.
Jimmy Freeman has moved into that starting role as the fullback when Rodney Woodard had some ankle problems. He's had a couple fumbles, but you can see here, nice counter action. They start to play to the right. He cuts it back to the left, and there's a lot of open room there. Nice job selling that play to the left side, to the strong side of the formation by the offensive line, and a cutback by the fullback.
Just shredding Pittsburgh right up the middle. Robert Walker, another first down for the Mountaineers. Sumner saves the touchdown on that one. Offensive line of Graham, Rapsock, Harless, Bell, and Click opening up big holes.
Well, again, they've got the defense of Pittsburgh on their heels right now. They don't know whether to come after the passer or to come against the run. Nice job mixing it up by West Virginia and the offensive line, taking control of the action at the line of scrimmage. 109 yards for Robert Walker on the day.
Mountaineers. And the trap set. Let's see if they can follow through on this drive. Seagraves brings down Robert Walker on this play.
And we just saw Robert Walker carry again. He's over 100 yards, an interesting number. Under Don Nealon here at West Virginia, the Mountaineers are 43-9-1 when a WVU back runs for over 100 yards. So if the numbers are bearing out the truth here, this is another day for West Virginia to win a football game. That's pretty impressive.
They average 228 on the ground. Here's Kelchner, gets outside, late pitch to Walker. He's knocked out of bounds. Sumner making a lot of plays in the secondary. That's not a good sign for Pittsburgh. Maurice Williams with some help. Sumner has to come up from the strong safety, and he's got to make some plays.
Well, you look at just how young this defense is, and Chuck Driesbeck, the coordinator's got his work cut out for him, trying to teach a new system to a lot of young players. And kind of what you see with this defense is they'll make a couple good plays in a row, but then there's a mental lapse, a little bit of a breakdown, and they give up a big play. And that's kind of been the story of this Pitt defense today. They've had shining moments, but they've also given up big plays.
Right up the middle goes Walker. Be about a yard short of the first down. Gerald Simpson, number 45. Tumulty is there. They bring him down. It'll be 3rd and short for the Mountaineers. Check that. It'll be 4th and short inside the 10 at the 8-yard line, and the Mountaineers call time. 5:50 to go. 3rd period. Mountaineers by 14. We return to Morgantown after these messages.
So, what are we doing today?
I'd like to go buy some flowers.
Oh, I know a place we can go buy some flowers.
Great. Then maybe the theater to catch something?
Yeah, catch something.
Only Ford Explorer combines the luxury of more space with the ruggedness of four-wheel drive.
And then I thought a nice candlelight dinner.
Yeah, candlelight dinner.
Ford Explorer. The world's just too big to be left unexplored.
There are a lot of good professors at West Virginia University, but Professor Rice is special. Her lectures are dynamic and animated. She really cares about her students, and the archaeology site that she constructed has helped a lot of people get hands-on experience in the field. She really brings anthropology to life, and I love her.
When you look to the future, Look to West Virginia University.
Big concern on the Pitt sideline. The left shoulder of Curtis Martin, their do-everything player. 28-14 the score, and West Virginia threatening now with a 4th and 2 at the 8-yard line. Sauerbrunn is going to come in to kick a field goal. Don't forget, next week, join us from the Orange Bowl live as Temple takes on Miami. Owls with their second straight trip to the Orange Bowl to face the Hurricanes. Sauerbrunn going for the 25-yard field goal. He has missed one today from 45 yards out. Good snap. Blocked. Can they pick it up? They do. Loose ball. Pitt recovers. Second time Sauerbrunn's been blocked this year. Sumner with yet another big play. So if the Pitt offense can make something happen, who knows? They're only down by 2 touchdowns in a very offensive game.
And give credit to Johnny Majors and his staff for getting across to this team a never say die attitude. I mean, this team will not go away today. Certain occasions today, West Virginia has had a chance to really put this game away. They've had this team reeling, but they haven't been able to do it. And again, another big play for Pitt.
Second time Sauerbrunn's been blocked. Ball's at the 30. Chad Dukes, look at this, shedding tackle. Finding room, does he have the speed? He's got the angle. Run out of bounds at the 28-yard line by David Mayfield. Chad Dukes, big-time performance this afternoon in lieu of the injury to Curtis Martin.
Now, there was a great collision right at the point of attack between Dukes and the middle linebacker, Wes Richardson. Watch 41. He's going to get a hit, but he doesn't wrap the arms, and a spin move by Dukes. And all of a sudden, a play that should have been stopped for a 1 or 2 yard gain is a big play down the sidelines.
43 yards for Chad Dukes. He's got 8 carries, 99 yards. What a lift for the Pitt Panthers with Curtis Martin out with a bad left shoulder. Tim Colicchio in the game. He has replaced Martin at the tailback spot.
What John Ryan's saying is that there was a problem with the play clock, the 25-second clock, and asked the official to step in and correct the problem.
The 25-second clock did not snark.
Did not snark. Did not start.
We understand.
We understand, absolutely. Ryan picked it up immediately. Pittsburgh on the threshold of cutting this lead down. They're down 28-14.
Pitt really needs to score in this series. They've had a couple chances down here and haven't capitalized. They need to do it now.
Colicchio inside the 25. Buddy Hager brings him down, number 95, with help from Keith Morris.
You know, Colicchio is no slouch as a tailback. He was the leading rusher last year in high school as a senior. He ran for 2,300 yards and 37 touchdowns at Erie Cathedral Prep. He was a highly recruited guy coming to the University of Pittsburgh. He can certainly get it done. He's not a real flashy-looking guy, but he's very productive.
Big play. West Virginia showing blitz. Here they come. They find it. Flyer to Davis. No, sir. Flag on the play. It'll be a 1st and goal for Pitt at the 5-yard line. He beat Tommy Orr.
And credit Bill Davis for drawing this interference call, because he saw where the ball was and tried to make a play back through the defender to the football. And because he looked like he was going for the football, the referee was inclined to give him the call. Watch. He tries to make a play. Tommy Orr has his back to the football, and the referee's going to give that to the offensive player. You can see Bill Davis knew where the ball was.
Defense, 15 yards, previous spot, 1st down.
And boy, the fortunes of this baby changed. West Virginia had a 4th and 2 at the 8. Called timeout to see whether they wanted to go for 6 or 3. Went for 3, had it blocked. Pittsburgh has responded. Chad Dukes with a 43-yard run, and now the pass interference sets up the Panthers 1st and goal at the 9. 28-14 West Virginia, 4:47 left in the 3rd. Colicchio for a couple. Wes Richardson gets him by the head and rides him down.
You know, the fans were booing on that pass interference call, but I really think it was a good call by the officials because Davis was trying to come back to the football, and Tommy Orr had his back to the ball, didn't know where the ball was coming to the inside, and Davis, the only way he could get to the football was to come through the defender.
Ryan, they need a touchdown. Cut the deficit in half. Second and goal at the 8. Like some movement. Ryan into the end zone. Got a man too high for Junior Green. David Mayfield covering for West Virginia.
Kind of ran a little combination route to the short side of the field now. Ryan, the ball just gets up on him, trying to go to the back corner. Junior Green gets one hand on it, but nice defense, good reaction at the end of the play. Right there by David Mayfield, the free safety.
Davis to the top. Ryan, no completions this half. Sadiq Durham, Junior Green to the bottom of your screen. Somebody flinched
Reuben
on that
Brown,
offensive line.
The left tackle, Reuben Brown, jumped. Now, West Virginia, I think they were jumping around and moving, but I think they're going to call it on Reuben Brown.
Dead ball, illegal procedure, offense. Third down.
You're going to see on the left side, West Virginia, a lot of movement, and it just kind of distracts big Reuben Brown, the left tackle, and all he has to do is just kind of flinch a little bit, and the penalty's going to go against him. And again, that's the penalty that Johnny Majors is, I mean, he's been going crazy over that kind of penalty for the last 2 weeks. You get down into the plus territory, you're in scoring range, and you do those kind of penalties that just really kill your hopes of getting in the end zone.
Really hurt him last week against Syracuse. Billy West, Colicchio, they're in the backfield. Double wides left, blitz. Ryan throws, short, incomplete. Intended for Billy West, who drew double coverage from Beasley and Collins. Ryan took a big pop.
Nice job by Steve Dunlap, the defensive coordinator. Go with the blitz at this point in the field. Force Ryan to throw the ball early. And then even if he catches the ball, hope that you can make a stop right at the point of the reception, short of the first down.
Steve Kalmanides with Ryan holding, going for a 30-yard field goal. High snap. Timing thrown off. Kick is no good. And West Virginia has withstood another Pitt onslaught. A 30-yard field goal attempt, no good, and the Mountaineers maintain their 28-14 lead. Kalmanides now 4 for 7 on field goals. Our score, West Virginia 28, Pitt 14, 3:52 to go, third period. We're back after these messages.
Yeah, how far away do you think I can get in 72 hours?
I wouldn't trust my car past the city limits.
For the way you travel today more than ever, the Smart Money is on budget. For our 35th birthday, get a minivan for only $35 a day with unlimited mileage. The Smart Money is on budget.
Plain peanuts are suddenly plain nuts.
Introducing new Fisher Favorites Crunchy Baked Peanuts. Get a double crunch! Crunchy peanuts inside, a crispy crunch outside. And they're baked, not fried, for a double crunch. There's honey grain and barbecue, too. Get a double crunch! New Fisher Favorites Crunchy Baked Peanuts. It's Fisher flavor, or it's just plain nuts.
Both teams have seen their kicking game fail them the last 2 possessions. Kalmanides missed from 30, and it was Sauerbrunn missing for West Virginia with a 25. Actually had it blocked.
Well, you can see it was a little bit of a high snap. Great job by John Ryan just catching the ball and not disrupting the timing. You can see that was just a push job out to the right, a little bit of a slice off to the right.
And he saw Ryan put his hands on his hips in disgust. He knew immediately that that was not a good one.
And it'll be interesting to see what the Pitt defense looks like on this series, because you just can't continually come up empty when you get big plays and a chance to get right back in this game and put points on the board.
Run up the middle, nothing happening for Walker. Got jammed up by Tom Tumbleton. Not surprised that Virginia Tech has opened up a big lead on Rutgers. BC holding off Army. We'll see those Temple Owls next week. They were up early in that game, but now down by 10. Second down and 10 here at the 20. No gain for Walker. 3:18 to go in the third. Kelchner, a half roll, completes it to his tight end. Oh, what a hit. Jim Freeman. Doug Whaley came up to get a piece, and luckily for Freeman, he slipped. Whaley had about an 8-yard start on him.
I'll tell you what, Kelchner's made a little bit of a living on this play today, even though it was a minimal gain on this one. They fake the play action, they come out on the bootleg, and they hit the fullback. And the fullback's a hard guy to keep track of because he's coming out of the backfield. It looks like he's going to block, and then all he does is just kind of slip out into the pass pattern out in the flat.
Kearney and Abraham in as wide receivers, along with Hill. Fake, and nothing there. The sack by Tom Tumbleton. Third sack of the season. He came in on the blitz, and Kelchner was trying to go to Kearney on a quick look in, but nothing was there.
Well, I think you're right. He was trying to go. I think he was actually trying to get it to the tight end, right, a little pop pass right off the line of scrimmage. It was not there. They covered it, and then he had nowhere to go with the football because he was only about 2.5 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Ball's at the 17, Sauerbrunn. Oh, boy. He roots this one out. Mostly back to the 28. Should be a penalty flag. It is. Number 20, Billy West. Billy West hit a guy from behind. 55-yard kick and a 12-yard return. And Billy West, number 20. A block in the back on number 34, Doug Costin. So yet another mistake for the Pitt Panthers. They're going to walk it off against the Panthers.
Illegal block in the back on the return against the receiving team. First down.
First and 10 for Pitt.
Some lofty company indeed for the West Virginia Mountaineers. The perfect 8. Pitt takes over. And its own 25-yard line. Colicchio, nice cutback, gets across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Barry Hawkins, number 99, the nose guard, makes the tackle. Ken Ferguson is in at quarterback. So Ryan pulled in favor of Ken Ferguson. See his numbers on the season.
And in fairness to Ryan, I mean, he's been getting beat up pretty good in there so far in this ball game. They may just want to try to get a spark, similar to what West Virginia did when they put Studstill in the game.
Ryan didn't have any completions here in the second half. Colicchio gets the first down. He slips. Let's see where they mark it. It looked like he got enough, but the mark looks like it will be right at the 34-yard line. It's going to be very close.
Colicchio has a very interesting running style. He's not very tall, 5'10". I don't know if he's even that tall, but he has very low center of gravity, runs very low to the ground, and he's constantly moving forward. Doesn't look like he's doing too much, but he constantly seems to be picking up positive yardage.
He picked it up that time, and how about last year? He had 4 games where he had 100 yards or better. So he's pretty productive.
Had a shoulder problem earlier this year and missed the early part of the season. Coming into today's game, only had 6 carries for 6 yards. So he's a guy that hadn't been counted on much to this point in the season, but the load is squarely on his shoulders here today.
Same with Ken Ferguson in relief of John Ryan at quarterback.
Corner blitz
coming. They run it to Colicchio straight up the middle. Push the file ahead to about the 39.
See, that doesn't hurt you when you come with a corner blitz and you run the ball inside. If you can bust a tackle, you can get a big play. For Pitt, a couple times when they've come with the blitz off the corner, West Virginia, Pitt has had a reverse called or something trying to run to the wide side of the field, and you're running right into the teeth of the blitz when that happens.
Ryan, along with the third-string quarterback, number 10, Pete Gonzalez. Seconds ticking down here at the third period. It's West Virginia by 14, 28-14 over Pitt. Ken Ferguson, the new quarterback. First passing attempt under pressure. Wiley's got him sacked. Derek Wiley, Jeanette High School, Jeanette, Pennsylvania with the sack. 18 sacks in the season now for the Mountaineers. And Wiley's got 4.6 speed. Ferguson didn't have much of a chance.
And again, Pitt seems to be having trouble with the snap count. Not everybody off at the same time. Wiley's going to come unblocked from the top of your screen. And you're right, with that kind of speed and athletic ability, the quarterback has nowhere to go with the football.
West Virginia ends the third period on an up note. Mountaineers lead it by the score of 28-14 here in the backyard brawl. We'll be back to beautiful Morgantown coming up in a few minutes. Fourth quarter action right in front of us after these words from our local stations.
If you want the absolute best price on a new Ford truck, McConnor Ford Mercury in Titusville, the truck superstore on the coast, has a 2% deal for you. McConnor Ford is selling new Ford trucks, cars, and Mercury vehicles from now till November 1st at 2% over invoice. 2% over invoice, that means savings of hundreds, even thousands, on our huge inventory of trucks, Rangers, and F-350s, gas or diesel. McConnor Ford Mercury under the big American flag. We have the lowest price on every vehicle, every day, guaranteed.
Think fast. Think Health South. At Health South, our goal is to put every type of athlete back in the game as soon as possible. Our sports medicine specialists take care of all kinds of sports injuries. Whether you're a high school, college, or professional athlete, or just an armchair quarterback. Think fast, play hard, and count on the Health South Sports Medicine Network. Health South, getting people back to work, to play, to living.
Welcome back to Morgantown, West Virginia. Dave Sims and Todd Blackledge with you. Derek Wiley just had a big sack.
You're going to see a real good play by these two guys. This is Tim Brown right here. This is Derek Wiley. This is Chad Dukes, the fullback, the blocking back. Now he's going to come in here to block, and these two guys are both going to kind of bluff him. It's going to look like Brown's going to blitz, but then he's going to back out. Wiley's going to come around, and Dukes is going to be left caught right in the middle with no one to block. Check this out. Dukes is right there. Brown shows blitz. Whoops. Here comes Wiley along the outside with no blocker. A nice little job of cat and mouse by Derek Wiley and Tim Brown.
No scoring in the third period. Quarter number 4, big play for the Panthers. Third and long. Ferguson got to throw it. Got time. See ya. Steve Perkins with the sack. That's his 4th of the season. And another big play by the West Virginia defense.
Well, this sack is credited to the coverage downfield. Perkins gets a pretty good rush, but Ferguson has time. Although the routes are all deep routes going down the field, he doesn't have a clear throwing lane. And after holding it that long, Perkins is able to fall off to the inside and get the sack, and that's his 4th sack of the year.
High snap, Cochran handles. West Virginia going for the return. Here's Baker at the 30. And he can't elude the first wave. Chad Dukes, Billy West make the tackle. 47-yard punt, a 1-yard return.
You know, this is one area that I can see the greatest improvement. I'll get back to this after we take a look at the stats here. Through 3 quarters, you can see West Virginia getting up around their average numbers now. 378 yards of total offense. And again, a very productive day for the Pitt offense. 296 yards. That's one of the best days they've had to date.
Absolutely. Pitt defense, make that the Pitt offense, averaging 253 yards per game. First and 10 at the 32. Walker trying to get outside. He's got a caught him a blockers and taken down at midfield by Maurice Williams. Save 6 on that one. First down, Mountaineers.
He got a great block by his tight end, Nate Ryan, that sealed the corner that time, and Walker showing good speed getting to the corner.
Holding on to that football, too. He's fumbled it 5 times, and it's starting to fall apart in Philly. Jerry Faust and the Zips on top of the Owls. Virginia Tech, boy, I like that club. They can score some points, and they're really laying it on Rutgers. First and 10. Big hole. Walker across the 45 before he's brought down. Tumulty gets a piece of him. BC Eagles lead the Cadets of Army 21-7. Big battle in the ACC. Iowa has come back to within a touchdown against Michigan State. Clemson leads. And Wake holding off Duke. Second and 5. Trying to make something happen up the middle. Good push by Freeman. Check that Woodard. Woodard and Freeman from up top are built similarly. 6'2" 234" for Woodard. 6'2" 238" for Freeman. Tim Robbins and Tumulty get credit for the stop.
I want to get back to a point I was starting to make about the Pitt football team. One area that I can see that they have really become a better team, a more disciplined team, is in the area of their kick coverage. I mean, that's something that's been very solid for them today. When we saw them in the 3rd game of the year against Ohio State, they were a little bit erratic when it came to cover.
Kelchner gets the first down, but pays a big price. John McCray, number 67, popped him pretty good, as did Tom Bartlett. First down for the Mountaineers.
Jake Kelchner is a gutsy kind of guy playing quarterback, a pretty physically tough kid. Again, they run the option, they lead with the fullback, and really, as much as anything, this play becomes like a quarterback sweep with a lead blocker being the fullback. And Kelchner turns it upfield, gets his nose down, and picks up the first down.
Abraham and Hill to the top of your screen. The draw to Walker. Covered nicely by McCray and Whaley. Walker might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. John McCray out of Buchtel High School, Akron, Ohio. Helping to take some pressure off of Tumulty, and not a good sign there as Doug Whaley gets up with it. So Whaley, a valuable member of the Pitt secondary.
Well, he really came flying across the formation from the middle of the field to finish off this play. McCray is the guy who starts the tackle. As you're going to see Walker, it's a delayed draw, and he tries to bounce it to the outside. Now watch, McCray's going to slow him up, and Whaley's going to come from the middle of the field and lands right on his right leg. He pulls the ball carrier right down onto his right leg, his right knee. It looks like it's just going to be a bruise, but painful nonetheless. As you can see, he's walking it off pretty well at this point.
Whaley, an outstanding student as well as a top player. Ball's at the 38 of Pittsburgh. Kelchner, that time, left sideline, got a man down there, Baker, touchdown West Virginia. He toasted Maurice Williams, and that may do it. 34-14, Mountaineers. Third TD pass of the afternoon for Kelchner.
This is nothing more than a case of a quarterback having faith that his receiver will make a play if I just give him a chance. Now, Baker is not wide open. Kelchner actually underthrows this a little bit. Baker has to slow down, but the defender never sees the football. Maurice Williams has his back to the ball. Baker doesn't show when the ball's coming in. At the last minute, reaches out and grabs it. Maurice Williams had no chance.
Second TD for Baker on the day. Sauerbrun's kick is good. 11:35 left in the ballgame at Morgantown. It's West Virginia 35, Pittsburgh 14. We're back after these messages. Hey, 13 for 17, 187 yards and 3 touchdowns.
On this play, Jake Kelchner does a nice job reading the defense. This is the strong safety, David Sumner. Okay, now Jake Kelchner, what he's going to see is he's going to see him lock into the tight end, and when the tight end comes across the field, he's going to run with him. That tells Jake it's man-to-man coverage. He can go ahead and throw the ball downfield to his wide receiver, Mike Baker. Watch. Here goes the safety. He runs across in front of Kelchner. He knows there's no middle safety. He can go ahead and air it out, and then look at Baker. Just does a great job not showing when the ball's coming and making the catch with the defender falling down in front of him.
We talked about Baker and his big play capabilities, and boy, has he come through big. 3 catches, 81 yards, and 2 touches. Mosley, about a yard deep. Nice acceleration as he gets up to the 26-yard line. There's the scoring drive, 2:38 to go, 6-71. Good-looking play. Kelchner to Baker. Ken Ferguson in for his second tour of duty as quarterback.
What's up, Mom? You want to play catcher?
Baker having a memorable day.
Hey, what's up, Christine?
Getting a hold of everybody downstairs. Total offense, Pittsburgh at 298 yards, 243 of them on first down. Colicchio slides through to about the 27th. Wes Richardson. Yeah, feelings and temperatures get a little hot here. This part of the country when these two teams get together. How about that one? No gain for Colicchio. Hit in deep trouble now, down 35-14. 10:50 to go in the ball game. Ferguson threw it there. Nobody within 10-15 yards. Bill Davis was up around the 43, covered by Tommy Orr.
I think a little bit right now what you're seeing is a team that has kind of run out of steam. The Pitt Panthers, they had opportunities, and as much as anything, this has been a case for them today of failing to capitalize on opportunities when they've gotten it down in West Virginia's territory. When you're playing on the road against a team that's a good football team, a solid football team, you have to be able to take advantage of those opportunities, and Pitt has not been able to do it. Therefore, they find themselves down 21 points in a game that they've actually played pretty well.
Passive situation, Ferguson, ball tipped, incomplete. Longino had it. Had he picked it off, he'd have been in for touchdown. So 3 and out for the Panthers. And a disgusted Junior Green takes a seat. Starting to warm up here at Mountaineer Field. Their club leading 35-14. They just forced a 3-and punt now for Pittsburgh. Mike Baker. Boy, he'll be looking to break this one. Short kick. He's got a chance. Had it, fumbled it. Who's got it? He saw it was a line drive kick, and those are eminently returnable, but he lost the ball. 37-yard punt.
I think what happened on this is Baker actually, as he was going to catch the ball, one of his own men flashed right in front of him, coming down to try to set up a block, and he never did completely catch the ball cleanly, fumbled it, and Pitt comes up with another big play, another big turnover, and presenting their offense with another opportunity for some points. What? Baker, right at the end there, you see a player flash right in front of his face, trying to get in position to block, and he never could get the ball.
And Washington flashed right in front of him. Curtis McGee, number 35, a big play. He recovered it for Pitt.
Talk about Baker being an emotional leader. He knows that that's the kind of play where they had a chance to really put this game away, and now they are inviting Pitt to stay close.
Billy West and Maurice Washington in the backfield. Ferguson, quick hitch, complete down to about the 31. Junior Green is a little angry with himself for falling down, and also the fact that the ball was thrown low and behind him.
Well, I think Junior Green's more upset with the fact that he wanted Ferguson to give him the ball in a position where he could catch it and try to make something happen after the catch it and run, rather than having to go to the knee just to make the catch. And again, Ferguson hasn't played much the last couple weeks. He's still trying to get a feel for things.
You bet.
Trying to get a little bit of a rhythm in there, but he needs to do it in a hurry.
Came into the game only 8 for 18, 2 interceptions and a touchdown on the season. Here comes the blitz. Do they see it? Backside they go with the flag pattern right side. Let's see it. It's picked off. Not drop. The inside defender was Harold Kidd, and it looked like he had made the catch, beating Billy Davis to the ball. Davis did a good job to get on his back and break things up.
Harold Kidd did a nice job finding the football and making a play on it. And again, when you're throwing the takeoff pattern like this, you don't want to throw it to the inside. That gives the defender the advantage. Throw it to the outside. Give your man a chance to catch it over his outside shoulder. When you throw it to the inside, the defender, if he gets his head around, has a better shot at making the play.
35-14 West Virginia, 9:48 to go in the ball game. Trying to get outside with Billy West. He does. Picks up the first down for the Panthers. He's run out of bounds by Tommy Orr with help from Barry Hawkins. Billy West scored back in the early going in the first period to tie the score at 7. 8-yard gain on that one.
Billy West, a pretty nice looking freshman running back out of Smithfield, Ohio, Buckeye Local High School. Filling in now for Tim Colicchio. He shows a little bit of a burst. Watch, he gets a nice block by his tight end Chad Scrocky and a nice burst through the hole. Picks up the first down.
Curtis Martin, if you're looking for him, he's done for the day. Left shoulder problems. Panthers trying to get back in if they're down 35-14. Just recovered a fumbled punt return, and hey, there's a big play. Terrace Alexander. Boy, he was sneering at anything in blue and gold, pick colors the last couple of days here at Mountaineer Field.
Well, earlier in the game, we saw John Ryan, when he made this bootleg fake, get his eyes and his head around quickly to see where the pressure was coming from. Watch John Ryan. When he makes the fake, he's a little slow in getting the head around and finding where Alexander is. Now, what he needed to do, get the head and eyes around quick and step up underneath that and try to get rid of the football.
He lost 20 yards on that play. Straight up the middle. Maurice Washington got room if he gets a block. Trying to beat Tommy Orr. He got close to a first down. How about Pittsburgh? Boy, they show you just enough opportunism to keep you very much into this ball game. And Billy Davis catching some heck from Johnny Majors for not throwing the block.
Well, Billy Davis was there, but watch. Maurice Washington, I think Billy Davis thought, hey, if he cuts inside, I'll block him outside. He ends up not getting any block, and Tommy Orr forces Washington out of bounds. But that's just a case where a little bit of a misread by the receiver and the running back, but still a huge play on 2nd and long brings up a 3rd and 1.
And what Majors is saying, hey, just get a piece of something. 3rd down and 2. Wishbone set. Give it to West. Not this time. On a penalty flag. Face mask against West Virginia. Pitt's going to get a break.
Oh, a big break, because this play was stopped, and Tommy Orr just, for whatever reason, reached out and grabbed the face mask right at the end of this play. Billy West was stopped short of the first down, and Tommy Orr, the cornerback, playing on the outside.
Face mask, incidental. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You're going to see as we take a look at this, watch the end of this play. Now, Billy West is going to get his legs taken out from him, so he's not going to make the first down. He stopped right there, and there's Tommy Orr, just at the end of the play, just kind of grabbed the face mask and pulls him back, and it's a costly penalty for the Mountaineers.
Certainly is. 1st and goal at the 9 for the Panthers. Power I formation. They need a touchdown desperately here. Bootleg. Ferguson stops, throws, end zone, too high. Too high for the tight end, Chad Scrocky. Collins covering. Pretty good poise by Ferguson on that one. Just didn't deliver it well.
Well, this time he does a nice job stepping up inside the rush. And this is twice now they've tried to go to Scrocky in the end zone. A little bit high. Kind of went right through the arms, but that's a tough catch. Going straight up in the air like that. Got to try to get that one down. Let him catch it around the numbers.
Ferguson passing 1 for 5 yards, and he's been sacked 3 times. Pittsburgh needs a touchdown. Down 35-14, 8:17 to go in the ball game. Straight up the middle. goes Chad Dukes. And he's been a very reliable running back today. Van Washington prevents the touchdown.
This is a very quick, penetrating type defense. They're not a real physical defense. And Pitt is getting a lot of good yardage running right at this defense, right behind their big center, Lawson Malika. It's a little trap on the inside. Malika blocks out. Dave Christophic, the left guard, traps to the other side. And it's a quick hitter to the fullback up the middle.
Look for Dukes again. Monster day. 9 carries, 106 yards. And there's a timeout on the field called by the Mountaineers. 7:43 to go in our ball game. Pittsburgh knocking on the door again. They're down 35-14. We're back after these words from our local station.
Dukes, you're going to see 3 great blocks. Lawson Malika is going to get a block right there on the seal block. They're going to pull Christophic around and get a trap here, and Jared Miller is going to get a great block on the middle linebacker, Wes Richardson, and it's a quick hitter for the fullback. Watch. Boom, boom, boom. 3 good blocks, and you pop the fullback through, and now you're right down knocking on the door again.
35-14 West Virginia. 7:43 to go in the ball game. They go with the wishbone. Ken Ferguson came in relief. John Ryan, the starter. Pittsburgh needs a touchdown. Billy West, he's got it. Billy West makes it a 35-20 ball game, and that offensive line really doing a job. And West Virginia defensive coordinator Steve Dunlop was telling us he had a ton of respect for the linemen for the Panthers.
Well, Reuben Brown is a potential All Big East candidate. He's the left tackle. They run behind him. They get a good push on that side. And another impressive drive by the Pitt offense. This time they're able to take it into the end zone for the score.
Good drive by Billy West. Kalmanides coming in to cap things off. High snap. Nicely done by Ryan as Kalmanides boots it through. Backyard brawl's been a good one. 7:40 to go in the ball game. It's 35-21 West Virginia. We'll return to Morgantown shortly after these messages. 35-21. Hey, you never know with 7:40 to go.
Well, what Pitt did on this particular touchdown, this is Reuben Brown right here. This man here is not a tight end. He's lined up as a tight end, but he's actually a tackle. Brian Kern, a backup tackle. They're going to get a double team, the 2 of them right here on this man. The tailback, Colicchio, is going to get a little bit of a block on Tafoni. Harold Kidd's going to come unblocked, but he's not going to make the tackle. And Billy West is going to take it into the end zone. Watch, Harold Kidd, 22. Nobody blocks him, but he trips. Can't make the play. Into the end zone is Billy West.
Pitt Panthers set the kick off. West Virginia expecting the onside kick. 7:40 to go. Pittsburgh down by 2 touchdowns. And Pitt does have a lot of backs and receivers and defensive backs. Set the kick off is Kevin Leon, second cousin of NFL punter Rich Camarillo. He boots it down, and it will go out of bounds at the 22-yard line. So they tried for the pooch. He sliced it. It goes out of bounds, so Pittsburgh gives up some field position here. 9-play, 36-yard drive. And don't forget, Baker's fumbled punt set that drive up for the Pitt Panthers. And another big play was the 3rd and 2 at the 15. Colicchio doesn't get it, but Orr with the face mask provides the automatic first down and keeps the drive going.
Well, if you're a Pitt fan, you're happy that your team has not quit, that they've hung in there, that they've fought back. If you're a West Virginia person, the thing you've got to be a little bit concerned about here is this was a game where your team had a chance to really put it away on a number of occasions. They weren't able to deliver that knockout blow. Here's another opportunity with a 14-point lead and 7 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Here's Darren Studstill again at quarterback, rolling out, completes it to Eddie Hill into Pitt territory at about the 47-yard line. Norris Mosley runs him out of bounds. Ed Hill having a big day, 18-yard catch from Studstill.
Offensive coordinator Mike Jacobs obviously not being conservative at this point with 7.5 minutes left. Comes out the first play after the score and throws the football. They're not going to sit on it. They're going to try to put some more points on the board.
You bet. Hill, 3 catches, 63 yards on the day. clock is as big an enemy to Pitt right now as West Virginia. 1st and 10 at the Pitt 47. Ryan in motion. Give it to Walker. One man to beat. Breaks through. Whaley brings him out of bounds at the 21. 1st and 10 for West Virginia. Big quick hitter. And a tremendous play for the Mountaineers.
Robert Walker, his 2nd game in a row, over 100 yards. That's a career high, 166 yards. And again, watch him protect the football. Both arms on it. Good blocking at the point of attack. Now watch, when a defender comes near him, he covers up, switches it to the right, to the outside arm. And a missed tackle by Pitt. And I'll tell you what, Walker's got good burst. He's got great explosion through the hole and into the secondary.
1st and 10 at the 23 after a 24-yard gain by Walker. Woodard with the carry. Hayes Clark, number 43 for Pittsburgh, slows down things. Brings Woodard down. Clock rolling. 7:08 and counting. West Virginia 35-21.
You know what people may not be aware of, Robert Walker, you may never heard of him. The reason he's playing and playing so much right now is because at the beginning of the season, in the opening game against Eastern Michigan, West Virginia lost their starting tailback John Jones, a fractured bone in his leg. He may be, probably is out for the year. Robert Walker and Jimmy Gary, 2 sophomores that had to emerge at that tailback position. And so far, Walker really starting to establish himself as a feature back.
And taking too much time. Certainly West Virginia will be deliberate. There you see the play clock had ground down to 0.
Delay of the game. The clock will start on the snap.
Yeah, when you get in a situation like this, you want to use the clock as wisely as you can. Run it down as close to 0 as you can before you snap the ball. But at all costs, you don't want to stop the clock for the opposing team when you're up by 14 points.
We're at Morgantown, West Virginia. Mountaineer Field for the 86 backyard brawl. Just 70 miles separating Pitt and West Virginia. Visiting teams won 5 of the last 6. Trying to stop that trend right now are the Mountaineers. Big game. He may score. He gets a block. Powers in. Touchdown. Rodney Woodard. They got a little bit of a block from Ed Hill, number 5. And that just may well do it.
West Virginia has capitalized in beating the blitz today. When Pitt has come up in a blitz, they have beat it on a number of occasions. This time they beat it with the quick hitter to the fullback. Pitt's going to blitz from the outside. Now watch, one missed tackle. Right here, a missed tackle. He couldn't bring him down. He's free through the secondary, and it's a touchdown for West Virginia.
Sauerburn's point after is good. A great block by the left tackle, Rich Graham. Got a piece of one of the DBs to open things up. It's 42-21 West Virginia. We'll return to Morgantown after these messages. Mostly does the smart thing and keeps it there. Let's talk about the productivity of second-string quarterback Darren Studstill. 2 drives today. He's led West Virginia to a couple of touchdowns, covering 135 yards in 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Not bad.
That's what you call a spark for your offense. And really, you know, and it wasn't like West Virginia needed a spark because Kelchner's played pretty well too.
Right.
But Studstill has pushed the right buttons for the West Virginia offense in the 2 limited in the series that he's been in there.
Good afternoon for Darren. Offset I formation from the 20. Play action. Ferguson has it knocked down. I believe it was number 99, Barry Hawkins. Barry Hawkins with the play.
You know, you got to feel good for a guy like Darren Studstill. I mean, here's a guy that pretty much epitomizes what college football is all about. He's a senior. He probably thought 2 years ago that this would be his senior season of being the starting quarterback at West Virginia. And he is a senior, but he's not starting. He lost the job to Jake Kelchner, but he's still effective, still doing what he can to help his team win.
They run it up the middle to Maurice Washington. Number 56, Tim Brown, brings it down. Ball's up to the 28-yard line. Next week, join us live for Temple of Miami. Down at the Orange Bowl at 12 noon Eastern Time start here on the Big East Football Conference TV network. Third and 1 at the 29 for the Panthers, who trail 42-21 with many of the crowd of 65,000 starting to head home. Colicchio bangs across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Tim Brown with another tackle. Other action in the Big East Conference next week, in addition to Temple, Miami, East Carolina at Virginia Tech, Tulane at BC, West Virginia at Syracuse. Check your local listings for that start at 7:30 next Saturday night.
Pittsburgh not into a hurry-up offense. They're still huddling up with 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in the ball game. That last touchdown really hurt the chances of trying to get back in there.
They go deep sideline, and it's overthrown. Intended for Junior Green. Check that, it was intended for Bill Davis, running down the far sideline. Mike Logan covering for West Virginia. This is a hard way to go for the Mountaineers. Starting next weekend, Syracuse, Miami, BC. Hello. If they have the goods, they'll find out against those three.
Well, I think they will be playing the three best teams on their schedule at that point, but I think West Virginia going into, being 6-0, 7-0, they're in great shape.
On the draw to Colicchio, 30 to the 40. First down, Pittsburgh, knocked across the 45 to the 46 by John Harper, number 12. Frank Browning, number 15 there, too. Clock at 4:57. Ball's at the Pittsburgh 46-yard line. Dave Sims and Todd Blackledge with you. Johnny Majors continues to see improvement in his ball club, but yet some key mistakes at crucial times have hurt the Pittsburgh effort. Ball at the 46. Davis to the bottom of your screen. Sort of hit, dropped at the 49. Ferguson now 1 for 8 and only 5 yards. And that's a little bit better than the guy he relieved, John Ryan, who was 0 for the second half when he started. Notre Dame already on top of Southern Cal.
Trying to make it 11 straight, isn't it?
You bet. John Robinson 6-1 career against Notre Dame. I don't know if he'll get 7 today. And a quick hitter. Maurice Washington did a good job to pick up 3.
Kansas State trying to make a little noise in the Big 8. They still are. Played tough against Nebraska last week, playing at home to Colorado this week. That'd be a big upset.
Michigan State holding off Iowa. A lot of scoring in that game, and BC and Virginia Tech enjoying big numbers this afternoon. Ferguson's going to throw. And a man over the middle, knocked down. Number 50, Mike Booth, good play. Mike Booth, the converted inside linebacker. They call him a real conscientious competitor out of Brashear High School in Pittsburgh. The final, after trailing 7-0, Jerry Faust and the Zips put another one on the Temple Owls, 31-7 the final. 4th and 8 at the 48. Clock at 3:48 to go in the ball game. West Virginia up 42-21. They've doubled up the Panthers. Baker fields this one and brings it back a couple of yards. Hayes Clark makes the stop with Chad Dukes. 40-yard punt, 5-yard return. Fifth straight week the Pitt Panthers have played a top 25 team They'll play Rutgers next week, followed by Miami, BC, and Temple.
Yeah, short turnaround for Johnny Majors and his team. That game against Rutgers, a Thursday night game on ESPN, so it'll be a very short week of preparation for both Pittsburgh and Rutgers.
Been a dismal second half of passing for the Pitt passers. Ryan and Ferguson have combined for a 1 for 12, 5 yards in the second half. John Nealon starting to empty his bench now. Number 11 carrying the ball is Jeff Nixon.
We talked about the importance of Pitt being able to hit some big plays in their passing game today. They hit a few in the first half, and thus the game was pretty close at the end of the first 2 quarters of play, but they weren't able to get it done in the second half throwing the football.
Pittsburgh's got 500. Make that West Virginia's got 521 total yards in offense. Fantastic day. Stud still throwing, completing across the 32-yard line. So back up tight end, Lovett Purnell.
Well, the coaches were yelling to Purnell to stay in bounds, but you know, he's getting in the ball game for his first chance. He wants to make a catch and get as many yards as he can. He dragged a couple Panthers with him out of bounds, but the coach is saying, hey, don't run the ball out of bounds. Keep the clock rolling. Get down in the field to play.
Studstill, look at those numbers. 3 for 3, led a couple of scoring drives. This coming off the bench, and as we said, Kelchner, not exactly like he's had a bad day. Here's Nixon trying to get outside. Not much happening there.
Jeff Nixon, ironically out of State College, Pennsylvania, which is where Penn State is. And Nixon, a freshman that they were hoping that they could redshirt this year. They really like him. They think he's got a good future here with the Mountaineers, but they were forced to use him when John Jones got hurt. And hasn't got to play too much, but very smart kid. His mother is part of the academic staff up at Penn State. He's a good student, somebody that they're very high on for the next couple years here at West Virginia.
Last 2 minutes of this ball game, Studstill pads his numbers. Nate Ryan, first complete. Check that. That is Zach Abraham, his first catch of the day. Maurice Williams knocks him out of bounds. Another first down for the Mountaineers. So very impressive. As you look at a big picture here, Todd, how do you factor in West Virginia in not only the Big East picture, but the national picture?
Well, I think they've got a good chance at doing some good things this year, going to a major bowl. I mean, they've got the tough games ahead of them. I'm a little bit concerned that they weren't able to really deliver the knockout punch till very late in this ball game.
The reverse to Vanterpool, picks up a first down inside the 40. Rashawn Vanterpool, 6 foot, 169-pound sophomore out of North Babylon High School in Wyandanch, New York on the island.
Kind of surprising. West Virginia's certainly not sitting on the ball here in the final 2 minutes. A couple throws down the field. Now a reverse to Vanterpool, and they're playing it like it's the middle of the fourth quarter right now. But back to your question, I think West Virginia, they're getting good play out of their quarterback, Jake Kelchner. He's not making too many mistakes. They've got a good offensive line. They run the football. They can do a lot of things offensively. Defensively, I think they need to shore up a little bit.
That's Nixon showing a burst. He picks up a first down to about the 27-yard line. Pick up of 12. Tom Tumulty makes the stop for Pittsburgh. And they're going to party hardy here at Morgantown tonight. Jeff Nixon showing a good burst, good size, 5'11", 200. First team All-Pennsylvania. AP rankings. Final minute of play here at Morgantown. Nixon again up the middle. He's stopped by John McCray and Tony Reardon. Some big matchups indeed for West Virginia.
Well, I think their pass defense is the thing that's going to have to, to get a little bit better. They're going to be facing Boston College, Syracuse, and Miami, 3 teams that can really do some things throwing the football, and that's the area I think of concern for Steve Dunlap, their defensive coordinator, is their pass defense. Coming into this game, giving up a lot of yards, 287 yards a game through the air. And today they were able to shut down Pitt, particularly in the second half, and they did that by blitzing and coming after the quarterback, putting too much pressure on him to get the ball downfield.
Stuck still, in trouble, throwing, end zone. Oh, knocked away. Number 20, Alexander was there, but he couldn't hold on.
Yeah, I don't quite understand this. Wow. 21 points up and 2 seconds left in the game, throwing the ball to the end zone.
Hence, more bad feelings will be developed and brewed down the line in this heated matchup. Good play by Williams to prevent the touchdown.
Well, this is Johnny Major's first trip down to the new Mountaineer Field that was built back in 1980, and I'm sure it's not going to be one that he has fond memories of, particularly the way this one's ended up. Although this is the victory play here.
And that will do it. Strong performance by the West Virginia Mountaineers in one of their favorite rivalries. First home win for the Mountaineers since 1983 when they were 24-21 winners. That's the end of our game here at Mountaineer Field. Our final, West Virginia 42, Pittsburgh 20.
For Don Nealon's